We're doing it live!
Hello, and we appreciate your patience. Sorry we're late, but welcome to Tales from the Dark Side, your Star Wars news and weekly comic recap presented by Renovision. My God, there are 4 comics to review this week. High Republic 8, Dr. Aphra 30, Bounty Hunters 33, and that Ewoks picture book, number 1. We'll also review the Mandalorian, we hope, episode 7, and Cataclysm, the latest adult High Republic novel by Lydia Kang. We've got your Star Wars news update, and we've got a mystery box to rip open. Let's get it going, fellas.
Oh, shit. This is going to go well. All right. Well, not even ready. I'm throwing stuff around. 100% my fault. Yeah, it was. I'll give you that. We're trying to get our Mando slides together. We didn't test them out. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Let's say hi to everybody. We've got a bunch of stuff. That Ewok book is straight hot trash. Oh, shit. I got to pick up that other book. I didn't even pick up. It is bad, dude.
Like the Ewoks.
Happy Star Wars Sunday. Can't wait for this episode breakdown. Cool. Well, you might not get it because we might not have it. So,
what? There's something else popped up.
There's Grogu.
Oh, I got it. Hey.
Wait, Don was working on his story.
Dom saw the slides. We got so many slides of Mando this week that they wouldn't fucking load it. So Dom started strict figure trying.
Grogu.
Sunday. The best crew in the galaxy. Have a good one, gents. Thank you very much. Rock on. Cheers, cheers. Ed, I'm just hoping I can stay awake. I know Ed's not gonna be able to stay awake. I know. Everybody, your heads. Yeah. Did he? I don't. Your gun should have already. Some things didn't make sense in that thing. Hello, Tommy, Darth, Ed, Astro. How are the gentlemen tonight? And they should be all doing well. Jay, what's good? This is the way.
I've spoken.
What's up, everyone? What's up? What's up, John? Did I miss somebody? Nope, I don't think so. Blue Beetle Comics. Good day, friends. Good day, Blue Beetle. My Barton Comics. Okay, everybody's pouring it out for him. Everybody love that kid. Let's see if he's dead. Hey, Jen. What's going on?
He's dead.
Really? You think so? Because if they're going to bring anybody back, John's going to bring himself back.
It's not him anymore.
It's not him anymore.
Huh?
It's not him anymore.
What the fuck ever? I hope he's dead.
That's what I mean. He already's like, no, wait, we're going to kill the character? I don't want them to be part of that. Let the other guy, let the stunt guy do it.
We're going to let the stunt guy die. Yeah. Still him as a character.
No,
Burger King. I'm here for the most hated man in the comic community, Marco. Yeah, in the real comic book community, though, not really, right? Like the fake one, maybe, but the real one. I was at cons this morning. I don't know where you were at. Oh, yes, I do. Burger King. All right. Blame Marco. It was me. It was my fault. I was late. Yep. You wouldn't believe what they were saying back there, too. It was the craziest shit ever. It's my fault. I missed my own alarm and over stuff. Yeah, Dub, I didn't see you at the con this morning. It's okay. Ruben. Hey, GT Key. What's up? High hand, thumb up, good stuff. 15-second commercial for Target. We should have just started the commercial. We would have been right on time, right? Anything is Marcus' fault. Yes, everything is my fault. I get it. Yeah, everybody. It's tough being me, right? Yeah. I'm just here. It's really not tough being me. I'm just here on Rand's algorithm. I get it. All right. I unsubscribed because of this show. Thank you for that, Kyle.
I was laughing.
By the way, subscriptions have been up, and so has our viewership overall hourly numbers this week. I don't know why, but welcome to Red Division. Marco is like Gandalf. He is never late. He arrives precisely at time. Thank you very much. That is the truth. Styx was not fired.
You don't get to accept a Lord of the Rings quote, mister.
I only get today.
Not after all the crap you give me for Lord of the Rings.
No. The reason is I actually watched the Lord of the Rings and like the Lord of the Rings, but you like go overboard. You're like super fanboy Lord of the Rings. Why didn't anybody tell me to set up my equipment?
Dude, it's been on in my house all day today. My son kept like, well, put it back on because it's a marathon again. I'm like, buddy, I love it.
It's on. Isn't there a marathon literally every week on that?
It seems like it.
Pretty much.
What,
Okay,
TBS
today.
or TNT?
Yeah.
So then
There's worse things to watch every week, though.
Don't you? And aren't you such a super fan? Wouldn't you own all the
Oh, yeah.
DVDs anyways.
Yeah, I got the
And don't
extended
you have it on
Blu-ray.
streaming? Yeah. So
Yeah,
why?
watch the hours and hours of behind-the-scenes footage of them
So why
making
is
the
this a
weapons
thing? I
and
don't.
the
Okay, there we
armor
go.
for all the Uruk.
All right, I'm finally set up. Chef Harris is good. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? All right, we got a bunch of stuff as Jedi, go around the room. My bad. Jedi, why are you letting us ramble?
Because you're a
I
train
was
wreck. It's
told-
got to watch.
I was told by my son who watched our Friday show that I talk way too much. So I said, well, just wait till Sunday. I don't say anything on Sunday.
I think you did a great job on that. Those lunchboxes were dope.
Yes.
What the fuck is Emergency?
Emergency? You ever saw that show Emergency? Come on, it's a great movie.
Dude, listen, y'all are so old. You are so old. You watched Emergency, which looked like Fireman
Watched it in
Bill. It was
syndication.
horrible.
Because my parents used to watch it.
Okay, let's go. Star Wars show. Jedi, go ahead.
The viewers chant to hear him rant and then get hype to hear him gripe. It's Macho Man Marco.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
This morning, his eyes will be red as tonight's show keeps him from bed. It's the visionary Pete Renovision. And he has no excuse for his credit card. I'm sorry. He has no excuse for his collecting abuse or his credit card misuse. It's the great Dom Tober. And he reads a book a day to keep bad spec away. It's Wayseeker Rune. And he doesn't offer rumors or statements of guarantee. And his predictions are always wrong, but hey, at least they're free. It's me, Jedi Johnson, 22. Let's go.
Let's go.
I think you've got 2 right, so that's 2 more
I
than
don't
somebody else on this show.
Yeah, I don't remember.
No, Don got a
Hey,
couple
hey,
right
hey, hey.
2 weeks ago.
It doesn't count. No, he got 2 words in a paragraph right. That doesn't count, bro.
Hey.
All right. Yeah,
It's still right
I'm
sometimes.
still right sometimes.
Not
but
right.
I'm not wrong.
Go ahead, dude. That's not
Broken
right.
clock is right
10,000
twice a day.
predictions a show.
He said the
That's
word
like-
the.
It's like a 300.
Gets right.
It's like a
He said
300
this is
hitter.
going to be a show
He
about
uses one hit
Mando.
each game. He's still a 300 hitter.
Actually, he's wrong because he did say the show isn't about Mando. He did say it was not about Mando. But go ahead. Let's go,
Well,
dude.
they changed it. If Mandalorian could be anybody. That's what they're saying.
All right. We don't got that much news. Just a few things. So we did get some news about the movies, kind of, not really, but maybe. So it said the slate is uncertain, is what the news came out today, but it says Disney ideally would like Rey's New Jedi Order to be released first.
Are they using a magic 8-ball?
No. Hey, I read this article. That's what they said. They speculated Disney thought. That's literally what they said. They speculated Disney thought. Wayseeker. Don't. I'm starting. I got you guys on this news bullshit. I got you guys on this new bullshit. I'm now starting to read this fucking news. All right, Pete, you're over here saying I'm a journalist. Ooh, I got my bachelor's degree in liberal arts journalism and blah 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 blah. And you got guys on this show slandering this slop around.
Is that not
But
exactly
it's
what
fun.
the article said? I am telling you.
No,
what
the article said, in our opinion, Disney would ideally have raised.
That is exactly what the title was. So don't get on me for their title.
Me personally, I think it should be last.
What?
I agree.
Nobody
I
wants
agree
to
with
see
that one.
Rey.
That one. I think it should be last.
Why? Who cares? Dude, this is good.
I still think Reyes is coming first, so that's why I like this one. I think we'll see if I'm right or wrong, but I think Reyes is coming first.
Dude, 100% that they are going to have the Mando, whatever the Mando Thrawn show is. Movie is coming first.
We bet $1, so we'll see who wins.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
I'm gonna take your $1.
I bet you a kyber
Ooh.
crystal. I bet you a kyber crystal.
I love this picture.
I'm actually going to be really mad if you take my $1. You do know that, right?
What?
I'll be uber pissed if I lose that $1. I don't
Well,
like
you're gonna lose your $1. I'm gonna take
Absolutely
it.
not.
Listen,
I will not.
he don't care about the dollar. He cares about being wrong.
I'm gonna
He's
make
wrong.
you-
Yeah. It absolutely means the dollar
That's
means
what has
nothing
to
to
come
me.
with
It's
it.
about that I lost the bet.
You need to write on the whoever loses has to write on the $1. This is because I was wrong and sign it. That on the
there's
$1.
no way I'm doing that.
So we can
Nah.
get framed.
You
by the
will.
winner.
Hey, but honestly, I'm wrong more times than Dom's right. So,
That doesn't mean anything.
I mean, less times than Dom's right. I fucked that up.
Yeah,
I was wrong right there.
You said it. You're wrong more
Wrong
than
right
you're right.
there.
Oh, I just screwed myself up. All right, get on with news. Let's go.
All right, so we got a press release.
No,
from
Kennedy didn't say
Celebration,
that.
And they talked about who's coming in season 2 in the press release for Celebration, and Andy Serkis' name with a bunch of new actors and old actors will be returning in season 2. So I don't know if it's going to be flashbacks or if it's going to be still alive or what, but we will see some more
Could
of
be
our
somebody else.
favorite person.
Go ahead, Dom. What do we got?
Could be
What?
Snoke.
I'm just saying. I drew another stick figure.
Oh,
No.
Mando.
No. Nice. I thought you had something for this. I thought you had something for this.
storyboarding.
You guys are missing the opportunity to tell Dom that's better than the art in the Mando comic books.
Oh.
Hey.
4.5. 4.5. 4.5.
Nicely done, Jedi.
No, it's actually pretty cool. I'm glad he's coming back.
Yeah, me too. We'll figure it out.
Good.
Right.
I don't know. He doesn't know how to swim though.
He didn't know how to swim, so he's still there, and they trapped him.
Yo, he looked, as he said, kind of learned how to swim. I mean, like, that's what you got to do
Hey,
sometimes.
did you see in Star Wars Celebration? They had like the group, the guys dressed in the prison garb.
Yeah, running through the thing. That was kind of cool.
Life preservers. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, the guys that were running through the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you, Kyle, before.
So we got all the actors. They talked a little bit about all of their characters. I thought one of them was more interesting, and that was, I can't think of her name off the top of my head. Jodie, whatever.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about last week. I said when her and the other lady was on stage, they really.
Yeah,
They
she
did.
said that
They were-
she is not a Jedi, not a Sith, fourth user from a group of women. Reminded me very much of like Night Sister-esque. I don't think it will be Night Sister-esque. I think it'll be something new, hopefully. But kind of, this force group that uses, both the light and the dark. So we'll see what that is. Bunch of Jedi talked about it. Some characters were just fooling around, being like, "I got really nice hair." That's all I can tell about my character. So it was good to see the characters were having fun with it. One of the characters, we did see some other news that came out of that for the Acolyte. They said that the Acolyte is not going to be kind to the Jedi. It's going to make Jedi often seem like the bad people at times. And so Heather said that she had this idea and she took it to Kennedy, and she thought Kennedy was going to shoot it down right away. And Kennedy got really excited and talked it through because Lucas had some issues in the past about making the Jedi seem not good and not always the good people. And so Kennedy didn't seem to mind. And so she was excited about that. So we'll see what that was. And she did bring up in the same interview, and it kind of makes me wonder if there's something going on with here. She also talked about how there's going to be a Zygerian Padawan that's part of the Acolyte. And the Jedi and the Zygerians generally they didn't get along ever, right?
Nope. There was slave trade.
But in the past, they talk about the history in Clone Wars and how they've had some past bad history.
Whoa, Joe.
I wonder if some of that bad history is there. We got JJ trying to get on here.
Does he want? I told him to let us know when he was ready.
All right, well, whatever. I'll put him on.
There he is.
All right. Well,
He's got the Thrawn.
Yeah,
Keep working on news. Go news now. Why are we getting so distracted today? Let's go.
But I wonder. I mean, we've talked about this. We've seen this High Republic. Like, I wonder if they're going to get in a little bit about how the Jedi take kids. If that's kind of what when I was reading some of the articles, I wonder if that's part of what's going on with the Jedi not always seeing as the good people. We've seen that a lot. I don't know. It'll be
Well,
interesting.
the book we read, we saw a lot of different reasons why people don't think Jedi are the good people. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a long, long thing that could be on it.
Yeah. So it'll be fascinating to see how they do that. So they kind of are not nice people when it comes to children. All right, here's one for Dom, whoever this is. Wes Chapman is joining the Ahsoka cast. Wes was on Expanse and some other things. He will be playing Thrawn's right-hand man.
Eli, anybody? Eli,
It's not going to be Eli Vanto.
Eli, anybody?
You think so?
Eli, anybody? He looks like a fucking Eli. Look at his face. One dimple.
I think he'd make a good one, but I don't think he will be because that's how they roll. They want to they want to take from other stuff, but not actually.
Yeah, they took a lot of stuff this week. They took a lot of stuff this week from a lot of different places and just redid some shit.
And
I just don't think we're going to see a lot of
I
shit.
I think that's it, JJ. I think from now on we have to accept the fact that they're just going to steal people's shit and just do what they do.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to see Admiral. I don't think we're going to see any of those Chiss people in the show, personally. So, but he's a good actor.
He's not
I'll be happy
Chiss.
that
He's not
joined.
Chiss. He's a white dude. He's a
Yeah,
white
he's
dude who's an
Imperial
Imperial that they
supply
sent out
officer.
into the unknown region.
But he wouldn't fit as Eli anyways, because when Ahsoka's taking place, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh well, there's a little thing about that. JJ, I listened to what you say, believe it or not, and I think you're right. They have fucked the timeline, like especially with what's about to happen. We'll talk about it later in Mandalorian, but I think they're just going to be very funny with the timeline. It's going to be very like fluid.
I get that, but if you bring back Eli, you got to bring back all the Chiss because he's connected. I think. I don't think you just bring back Eli.
Well, you could bring him back with Thrawn.
Yeah,
But then what are you
we can
gonna
do
do?
Thrawn.
They had the opportunity to use
If Thrawn's coming back, he's coming
the
back.
female was Karen Farrow or whatever, but they used instead in season 2 of Mandalorian, they used somebody nobody ever heard of, that Elsbeth or whatever her name was.
Right.
I agree with that. I'm just saying that like I wouldn't rule it out I would not rule out the fact that Thrawn is already back before. Like I think they're going to be funny with the. I think they're going to be very funny with the time. We can talk about it later in Mando, but we can go.
All right, moving on.
Tales of the Jedi and Bad Batch both officially get 2024 release dates, according to Celebration's news release. So they both will be coming out next year. That's good to see. I didn't know when we would get each of these shows, and so they are coming out next year. So we got that. According to that news release, we also got confirmation that Young Jedi Adventures will take place 200 years before Phantom Menace. It's exactly the same year as the start of Phase 1. So I'm guessing it's going to take place just before the whole great disaster, because it wouldn't make sense Yoda teaching all these Padawans elsewhere.
All of those kids are on the spaceship.
Yeah, for me to clarify this
They're all on the
real
space station.
quickly, for me to clarify this, Eli has white skin, not blue skin. He's not a Chiss.
Yeah,
That's what you're saying. He's not a Chiss.
Yes,
Yeah.
He's a human Imperial.
He's a human type Imperial. Yeah.
So, but I do think it's interesting. It's the exact same year, and they pointed it out. It will be the same year as all the other stuff that's happened in Phase 1. So, will that mean we'll see cameos? Will we see some people?
Once again, I can't get over that one kid looks like the freaking thing from the
Freddy Funko.
Freddy Funko. Yeah,
I think he's the one that's not a Jedi, right? I don't think he's a Jedi. He's like a
I think
pilot.
he's a pilot.
Are you talking about Nash, the girl?
It's she.
No, is that the girl? Is that a girl?
It is, because I watched the
on
thing.
the
It's a girl.
right
Nash is the girl. She's
It's
the
not.
pilot.
It's not Freddy Funko. It just looks like Freddy Funko. It's a girl.
Because I think it looks like a little crown.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be like a cowlick, but it looks like a crown. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, everybody loves nubs. More nubs.
Do you want to see people from Phase 1?
I want to see
name
Nubs.
dropped or brought in
I want to see Nubs in the movies.
episode.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
Sure, of course, especially cartoons. I like it when they do. Like that's why I actually hate what they did with the Freemakers, because like that was so fun.
A lot of characters in Phase 1 took themselves awful seriously to appear in the show. Though. Could you imagine like Avar Chris coming in there like, now children, listen to me. I am Marshall.
Yeah, no. But like, if you could get like the guy that evaporates into the air, Orion, that would be kind of
see the
fun.
level.
Buckets of bolts talking about blood.
Buckets of blood. Stop. If all of a sudden you just see the legs of Ezra Mann, like you don't get to see the whole thing because he's taller than everybody.
That'd be hilarious. Cartoon.
It'll be like the Tom and Jerry cartoons. You only see the body. You never see the face, and the person's talking.
They could do that. I don't know.
I think they missed an
the
opportunity
Blade.
in this series.
They apparently have no problem killing kids. If you read that novel,
I want to see the Blade working in the cafeteria as the disgruntled lunch.
Just in the background while the Char Hound's setting shit on fire.
Like Chef from South Park. Hello.
Yeah, ordering.
Hold on. One person's opinion we haven't gotten on this one. Jedi, what do you think of this? Do you want to see Phase 1 people?
I think I look so forward to this show every Sunday, and then I come on and you guys talk about this crap. So
it's canon.
Like
your whole thing is if it's canon or not.
So enthralled in this, and it blows my mind. When there's other things we could be talking about. But
Jedi, it's canon.
Jedi,
it's
canon.
Hey, fair enough. Move along. We do spend a lot of time on nubs. This is Wayseekers news. Holy shit! What is
We
this?
got some art from Phase 3 released from Kevin Scott.
She's gonna fuck somebody up.
Jedi Master Kiwi. How Kiwi will appear in Phase 3.
Not Jedi Master.
Nia Jax.
What do you think?
I'm not going to make any comments. That's
Pete,
what I
Nia
think.
Jax?
I ain't
Kinda
got
what-
no comments to make.
No.
It's kind of what
Zero.
we knew all in phase 1, right? Because we said all along it was gonna be like
Yeah.
phase 1 was gonna be them as knights and Padawans, like
That's
learning,
the
and
Twinkle
then
Sisters aunt.
phase 2 splashback, phase 3 is them as masters. So
Yeah, but
You're gonna have to find some WWE superstar or MMA wrestler to.
Well,
play
Dom already
her,
cast her with Nia
if that's what
Jax.
they're going
Nia
with.
Jax.
She's huge.
Listen, the Twinkle Sisters lost aunt. There you go.
Yeah.
she's big.
Yep. We're just gonna leave it there. That was the art that
I probably shouldn't even have said that, but yeah.
you got.
she's
You got
big.
that spoiled this weekend.
Big Bertha.
That was the only art that he gave. Of all the art, this is the one Kevin decided
Holy
to give.
shit.
So
Actually, Nia Jax is a ninth sister. I'd rather see that.
kind of how they haven't done any concept art because they did it for phase 1 and phase 2.
yeah, we haven't got it yet. I'm surprised we didn't.
I
get
think we're going to get here.
more. Yep. And that's this week in Star Wars. That's what we got.
Oh,
Excellent.
boo
That
this
was-
week. There's nothing.
It's
Yeah. Why do we even bother?
Get out of here. That's good news. Good job, Wasey. All right, here we go. Comics real quickly. Mixed bag. There's a bunch of stuff that's okay, but there's a bunch of stuff that's horrible, and there's a okay one. There's a bunch of okay and a horrible. Bounty Hunters, we got 33. This is the first full, third full, fifth full appearance of Infernal Squad, cover full, second, third, ninth.
First cameo, full appearance of
First full
Cameo.
frontal nudity. I mean, frontal page part of whatever the fuck they want to call it. Yeah, thank you very much.
There you go.
Of who? What?
Yeah, right.
Squad.
Infernal Squad, the people in there. So then they just give us a recap like, we haven't been following bounty hunters for the 800 and knew who the fucking's on the bounty hunters list because we've been reading this book for 33. It's the same fucking bounty hunters, all 33, but let's do a recap really quickly who they all are. No, we'll skip that. But on the fight on the ship, once again, for the 6th time in this story or volume, I guess you can't even call it a story arc. Guess what? Bosk and Valance are fighting fucking again. Who cares? Forlorn gets in the middle, says stop fighting.
I got to call out. There's like half a dozen plus Batman sound effects for you to do on those pages. You got to go back.
Do them. Let's hear it,
Whoop,
Pete.
whoop, zoom. No, hold on. Whoop. No, that's not it. Whoop.
What is
Whoop.
that one?
Vizium. Womp. Bang. Crunch. Slam. Bang. Bam. Oof. He actually says oof at one point, so we got an oof in there.
Oof.
Yeah, there's a bunch. And bap. Bap. Bap.
Yeah, you missed the BAP.
No, I got it. And then there's a whack, smack, thud, thunk. Yeah, we got them all. Either way. So then after they calm everybody down, the Inferno Squad's just sitting outside because they blew out the hyperdrive and they know where they're going to get a new hyperdrive. What they do, we get an actual pretty cool fight scene. Of course, Inferno Squad wins. And then they pose as the Inferno Squad to go in and bring in the parts because they somehow reprogrammed Forlorn. We can't wait for this to be over. Yes, this hasn't gotten any better.
I can't wait for the new group, please.
This was the worst part because this story showed how good this book. Like, actually, the sad part about this is this little fight scene and what they were doing here with Inferno Squad. This stuff right here is what they've been doing the whole fucking volume, and it sucks. This stuff here was actually pretty good. This right here, I forgot all about the Unbroken Squad, and all of a sudden IG-88's coming in there and shooting people and killing people. I was like, wow, this would have been really cool if they did this.
There wasn't Grogu driving IG-12.
Yeah, don't talk about. Let's not talk about that yet.
I have to ask,
Bang,
what
bang.
the hell is
No.
choom, and is that a real sound?
No.
Choom.
Choom.
Choom, choom, pew, choom. It's like when he click. I think it's when he does that click motion with the gun, and then whomp. Either way, so we got a little bit of that. It was only like 4 pages, and it sucked because they didn't have more of it, and then they stopped. Speaking of sucking, let's release Dr. Aphra 30 after we already finished the major event, even though it's a crossover book for the major event. That sounds like a good idea. Dom, when you talked to that guy, did you tell him never to do this again?
I haven't seen him anymore. I haven't seen him.
Okay. Now here we go. So if you didn't watch, what was it, Hidden Empire? What was the
Hidden Empire
series?
5.
Was it
Hidden
Hidden
Empire.
Empire? It was so bad. Somebody tried to give me that for free today at the con. I told him just
I
keep
didn't
it.
hate it.
This
It's like
was better
Heroes
than
in the
that, at
Comeback.
least.
They made a live.
What was the point of Hidden Empire then, Jedi?
I don't. What was the point? What's the point of any of it? I'm just saying I didn't.
Well,
I
usually
mean,
it's like
True.
it ended. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not too smart, but I didn't. The whole thing at the end of Hidden Empire 5, where the whole Kira's plan was not to release something. It was more to capture, not to release something from the cage, but to lure them in and capture them, using the bait of something being in there. I didn't expect that, but maybe I'm just not that bright.
Thank you, BK. No, it's all right. I mean, it wasn't that enjoyable. It seemed like we were on there, it seemed like we spent, 2 years, and the culmination was nothing really happened.
And Kira didn't even die.
Yeah, Kira didn't even, nothing happened. Nobody died. Nobody.
Well, that's because I got to bring Kira back in Mando.
It was
Kenneth
right. In this last episode. All right, so here we go. Oh, that was right. He said that Kira was going to be in Mando. All right, so we get the Fawoom from Darth Vader, where he knocks out the internal, or the I'm talking about the Iron Man fucking thing. And then all of a sudden,
it looks like inappropriate touching to me. That's all I see.
It is. Then all of a sudden, it's just screaming, saying, "We can't." Blah 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 blah. Well, guess what? It goes right back into her. The droids are there, and then all the X's of fucking Afra shows up to help Afra out. Every single one. So here we go.
I love how a protocol droid can run like the Bionic Man in that one panel. I was like, do they really move like that?
They really like the choo-chooms and the frooms.
We saw the super droids run like they're doing parkour too.
Yeah.
So the plan of all of Afra X's is to stab her in the heart with a sword, except for Just Lucky, who's also next. He was going to shoot her in the face. But that didn't work. So then he ends up shooting one of the droids in the face, and that makes the other droid mad, and he's going to kick his ass, but that doesn't actually happen. That would have been a cooler book. I don't know. Then it takes all three of the X-chicks to stab her. They all stab her in the heart. And I know that you're going to say that one technically didn't get down with her, but I think they were flirting and kind of maybe went on a secret date and we don't know about. And boom.
There's like a piece of the stone or something in her chest.
The eternal thing. Yeah, the Sparks Eternal went back into her chest.
I don't remember exactly when that happened, but I guess it happened at some point.
Yeah, again. But then her head popped off. That's awesome. Where did her head go? Her head just exploded off, which was kind of cool. But then she got her head
fell off.
And she got her head. When I saw this in the actual comic book, I was like, because this is a page, I was like, did her head pop the fuck off? And I looked
It looks like it.
like,
they put the power stone back in the orb, and everything was okay. Oh wait.
Yeah, so now she's back there, and the Spark Eternal, and they're like, "Oh, I wish we were better there." And Afra goes, "I wish I could date you."
I hope this is the end of the story now.
Well,
it is the end.
You and me both.
Before she actually got stabbed, she was like, "I love," like she was gonna say, "I love," but who was she?
I love Santa.
No, she's gonna say she
it
loves
says Santa. It says Santa. I love
the weird mouse thing that's been stuck in my head.
She's gonna say Santa. I love the weird mouse thing.
No, she was saying she loves Santa.
No, she says she loves this thing because she has a little thing right here.
Dude.
Well, they do a thing here where they go, they literally start talking about how the relationship could have been better, and they could have hooked up for longer. Did you read this book? That's exactly what happened in the next 3 pages. JJ, please tell them. The next 3 pages, it was talking about how the mouse and her.
It seemed that way.
It seemed like they're having a very intimate relationship here, buddy. And then all of a sudden, all her exes are there.
All I know is this storyline needs an omnibus of its own because it ran for so goddamn long.
No, they're getting back together. We're getting Santa and Afra, and I'm going to be happy.
Nobody likes Santa. Dude, stop with it. I know, like, the first girl ever that winked at you, if she wasn't actually winking at you, but was winking at somebody else, looked like Santa, and you're like, oh, I really like her. Nobody else likes her. Stop it, Wayseeker. We see through you, okay, buddy? We see your BS, Wayseeker. We see your BS.
Wayseeker, if we could somehow just find a way to fold Sabe into this love octagon that she has going on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These two are married, but who knows?
You can warp into memories like Inception with this thing, so who knows?
Oh, thank God this shit's over with. All right, High Republic number 8. This is the first 8 pages of this was trash, but after that it really got good. So she's not dead. Good call, Wayseeker. You're right. I'll give you a $1 bill since you were right.
Her eyes in all these panels.
Why does she look like she's doing the merengue?
It's like her eyes are like huge.
Why after she got stabbed with a light? Well, because it cauterizes, right? Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't bleed.
She just cauterized herself so it didn't bleed out. Prunehead's all upset. He's like, wait, you're going to leave us with, what's the guy's name again? Kai, Trey, whatever. Who cares what this guy's name is? Ty. He's probably the worst part of this book next to Mac and whatever the other guy's name is.
He's going to be around.
He's
They're
actually one
pretty
of the
worse.
best characters, which is really the
They're
sad
pretty
part.
worse. No, this is the best character dying that's been in curse.
John just became
She
Wayseeker's
hasn't done
best
much
friend.
in the comic. She's more interesting, but she hasn't done much.
Neither is
Rowdy
anybody
in the garage.
Prunehead has done as much as everybody in this one. So Prunehead's like, wait, what? He got out the back door. One of the Night Sisters is getting screamed at. Like, you shouldn't have let him out the back door. You're gonna get docked. I could fire you, but I can't. Then he's tased down there, all these, of course, big rat things, and he starts his robot starts zapping him, but then he uses his like skunk stink to put him asleep. But then one's still there, and then gets thrown down a hole.
It's musk.
Oh,
Skunk stink is musk.
yeah. No, that's what he used, right, Jedi? Am I right? That's what he used.
I like skunk stink better.
Yeah, he uses skunk stink, and then
I have to point out one thing about some of the panels. And like, as this series goes along, am I the only one that thinks they get lazier and lazier about drawing Veldar Max like tattoo or whatever it is?
Yeah, well,
like this looks like a breathe easy right strip. Like he wears
breathe right. That's what I was thinking. It looks like a breathe right.
He's gonna die. It doesn't matter. So, anyways, then they bring everybody down into the shithole sewers with the killer rats. After they just say the rats are gonna kill you, they bring everybody down there for some reason. Oh, big surprise! Rockfall can't have everybody. They split the group up, so that was just pointless for them to do any of that shit. They all have to go back upstairs. In the meantime, they walk out. Oh wait, Olivia's like dead, but she's not dead. I think she's still alive. Oh, she's still alive. We can hear her anyway, so she's still alive. Cool. Let's go into this crack and see what's in there. What the fuck is this thing? You turned, hey? And he's like, no, I didn't. What's going on? He's like, I got that feeling again. And all of a sudden we get the this was interesting, threw me off, Wayseeker, because of how they were talking about the not the messenger, but what's this one's name again? The
Herald?
The Herald. How they were talking about him in the book, it kind of was like, wait a minute, this didn't make much sense, but that's all right. So he gets pulled piece of the rod, puts them together, which means he's going to be a little bit in control of the Nameless. And then they've got Thundercat, Jedi Thundercat down there, and she's about to be eaten up by the Nameless, and she gets eaten up by the Nameless.
Or Kiss, because we just watched the little calamari dude.
Mando, that would be Kiss. And this one, it would be eating the soul out of her, I guess.
You can tell the artist watched Alien. Or was it Alien 2?
Maybe. Was this the most Roe? Was this the most Roe speaking parts we've seen in this book so far? I think it was the only time.
Yeah, I think so.
It's her first appearance of her speaking parts. That's a thing. Who knows? Who cares?
Is now.
Yeah.
Of her speaking parts or her speaking?
First time she opens her mouth.
Well, first time something comes out, I guess.
There's a lot that could be
We'll
done.
move on. We'll move on to Ewoks because of that comment. Moving on. Ewoks. Yeah. All right. Cool. Ewoks. Holy shit! This was terrible.
You would think a comic with no words would be an easy read, but no.
Hey, there was words right here: thump and sizzle. Forest Moon of Endor.
Because I didn't bother.
What's
that? Final issue of G.I. Joe was the best non-written book.
Anybody else disappointed by that cover with the Ewoks that they put so much of that black border around it?
Yeah, it sucked.
The regular
when they did the 30. Yeah, the 40.
Whatever.
Yeah, I didn't show them all.
That's
Lupa or Boopa or Boop, whatever. Who's the chief again? Chief Poo Poo?
Chirpa. Loompa.
Chirpa's going to tell stories to all these little kids, and he tells this, and the story is, hey, that parents hate each other, but the kids don't. And there's a donkey. We're going to throw our food up on the ground, and then the kids are going to get drunk.
Did they invite Grinches over?
Actually, what he should have talked about, he should have gave the whole story of the 82 Ewoks cartoon.
There's no words, by the way. No words throughout this first story, all right? Oh, and this guy's like, holy shit, you didn't say any words? This is fucking horrible. He's like, let's tell a story. And then they do. Actually, I like the art in this. I really like the art in this.
That was pretty cool.
So,
list for
so Paplo or Puplo, however you want to call it, its tail, it comes out. And there's
the Ewok with the red. We saw it in the
Red Riding Hood.
Yeah. And all of a sudden he's like, wait a minute, I got one. There's a dead one there. It isn't him, it's somebody else. He's like, oh crap. Here comes Kevin Scott's thing, and it's coming back, and it's this is from the cartoon or whatever. And it eats it. The end of the story. Chirper's like, hey, jackass, you can't tell little kids this. They're gonna have fucking nightmares. What's wrong with you? And then all of a sudden, two more of the Ewoks start dancing, and a fire Ewok comes up, and they're like, well, we'll tell you.
That art was pretty good, though.
Story, what?
The art was pretty good in that.
So Peekpaw's story, though, like it's one thing to say Ewok gets eaten, But apparently in Peak Buzz Story, it's perfectly fine if you bash the fucking head and brains out of a bike trooper. That's perfectly okay. Because if you look at the middle panel on the bottom, he just beats he knocks his brains out of his head. And then Pika is going to sit there and start doing something. He's like, hey, let's see what he's doing. He's building some shit. Now we got some words. Heep. That's about all we got. Okay.
I like rank.
My question is, how come no Imperials were eaten at the celebration at the end of Jedi? Like, they were all ready to eat Han. Like,
you don't know what happened to those
once they
heads
like won the
helmets.
war, like, why didn't they eat?
You don't have a question why Pika's comes with a whole bag full of like tools and shit, and all he's using is duct tape to fix this fucking plane?
I think in the Star Wars universe, heads disappear once they come off, because like look at like Jango, like that head should have fallen out of Jango's helmet.
So he taped it all up, and then all the buddies that helped him out, he's like, screw y'all, I'm out later. And then the kids are like, this story sucked, let's go to sleep. And then for some reason she gets a spear and puts on a flower helmet. All right, there we go.
Going on for too long.
That was horrible. What?
This review's taking too long. You're trying to explain something that's so bad.
I wasn't. I actually cut it down.
There was this comic had no words, and it
had no words, and there was literally 80 pages, and I got it done in 3 slides. It was nice. That's how you do it, Wayseeker. That is how you do it. Next up, speaking about worthless Santa Staros, but we do get the Bartel variant, which we know people will go Google for Gaga for. So
I don't know. I think that's a weak Bartel.
I want that middle Yoda.
I would agree, but I don't care.
Oh, that Yoda does look.
Yeah, that middle Yoda is dope as shit.
It's so bad, though. A lot of places it's already selling at a premium. Yeah.
Oh, no way.
It's like double. Yeah. Because I did my watch list already, and I was looking at it. I wanted it. I was like, shit. There's the
well, we've been talking about it. I hope you guys FOC'd it, because we've been talking about it for a while now.
I got 2 copies coming anyway, so I'll put it off me.
Yeah, it's a Okazaki, I think, or I don't know, whatever the artist is. But
so I can tell the one on the right or left is Noto.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. All right. Also, so let's get into FOCs. Next week will be light because we're not reviewing.
Is that a live film?
There's no. Where's Vader? Vader comes at the end of the month.
Looks like it.
It is. We already. No, it must be at the end of the month. I don't know what Vader is.
Does Vader come out next week? The
Who cares? Bounty Hunter, 30. What is it?
All the circles.
No, it's FOC, so it's 36. We're gonna, dude. Dom, you don't get your dreams because we're still same group. Here we go.
No,
we get a live
issue, next issue after this.
Oh yeah, because somebody shows up.
These are more of those other stuff people didn't ask for.
I don't mind the IG cover. That's the one I.
The Liefeld.
That cover is not bad either. I wish they didn't.
We'll see how that one finishes up. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, but why are they doing those?
The board?
I don't know, but to be honest with you, some of them are better than the regular fucking.
Yeah, why are they overlapping? We're gonna do a solo 5th anniversary.
Because they do
why?
To sell.
It does, VK. It looks kind of like it, I guess. I don't know. It's really
I get
cool
to sell it, but also why? I guess they're doing it now because
wasn't that the B cover though? It was the what's his name? I made a mistake thinking it wasn't a regular artist, and it was the Yoda. Okay. The Yoda cover. Anyways, that's it for FOC.
That's the guy who did the same guy who drew the Visions cover?
No, Pete said who it was last time we covered in FOC. I can't remember. I didn't put it back up because last time I thought it was like some special thing, and Pete's like, no, you're wrong. I was like, all right, fair enough. I don't know fucking artists.
Like you said, you're wrong as many times as Dom is right.
So it's twice.
Marco's never living that down, ever.
Twice. All right.
You take that how you want to take it, because you could be.
All right, move along. What else do we have? Should we do review of the book or see? That's quick.
We got Pete's thing. Let's do Pete's thing.
Oh, Pete's thing. Oh yeah, so I could do something else. Story of the day. All right, go.
Yeah. Okay, you go run do your thing. I don't know if you guys remembered. We talked about this a while ago. That who was it? Was it Mutant Beaver? I think that was the store.
Beaver. Mutant Beaver?
They were selling Marco's favorite storyline. Basically, if you bought this Hidden Empire exclusive, which was like $45, I think. Here, let me go big screen. So to buy this, and it's limited to 500, this Hidden Empire, I mean, it's a fair enough cover. It's not great. It's okay. But, it's limited to 500, number. Whatever. But if you ordered this, you would get a mystery box of 10 Star Wars variants. Free. So I figured, why not? Just for the mystery box. This is just extra.
It was so crazy that was the deal.
So I got the box here. I haven't opened it. It's been here for like 2 weeks. We just haven't been able to get to it. But this is they even wrote Star Wars on it.
I still remember the discussion of like they need to sell this as variant so bad they're giving you 10 comics for free.
Yeah, I don't know if these are going to just be unsold variants that just have leftovers of stuff, or these are like incentives or just B cover. I have no idea. But it said mystery box of Star Wars. And there should be 10 in here. So we'll see
how
what's
it was
in
marketed. It was like the weirdest email I ever got.
I know, and I figured, I think Waste Seeker's like, anybody gonna do it? I was like, screw it, I'll do it. All right, here we go. Packs inside the UPS mailer thing. Nope, gotta cut it open again. Thought it'd be easier than this. Nope, gotta cut it open again.
Jesus.
They don't mess around, I guess.
Trying to protect the
There we
books.
go.
All right.
All right, we got our stack of books. Let's see if I can show them without spoiling it. They're face down, so I can't see anything yet. It looks like they're going to be 1 for 1. Oh, I remember this one.
Mayhew.
Mayhew?
Isn't that
There you
Mayhew?
go.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's the Mayhew. It looked kind of like a Wolverine-ish thing. That's not too bad. Trade dress. All right. The Led Zeppelin Virgin.
Virgin cover. That's a nice one.
No, it's the
Yeah.
same. I don't like those because it's the same cover. It's just Virgin.
Yeah, but still,
That's-
you've got to figure if I didn't get the variant,
That's
these
usually how the
are like
exclusives are, though.
what $4.50 each.
Yeah.
If I didn't
$4.50.
pay there for the other book, so oh, here you go, Dom.
Nice.
Yeah, black
Tom likes that one.
I like that.
That's not exclusive either. That's okay.
Oh, is that
Yeah, that was a cover B or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Something. Oh, let's see what this is. Oh,
Hey, another Mayhew. There you go.
It's
maybe,
Power
yeah.
book.
this another Mayhew?
I'm pretty sure.
What are you opening?
Yeah, it is Mayhew. Yeah, these are exclusives.
From who?
Mayhew.
That last
This
one
is-
wasn't a
this
fucking
was a
exclusive.
mystery box.
No,
Don't you remember the mystery box
action
deal?
figure wasn't.
No, the action figure. The action figure was not.
Just a regular cover.
Oh, what is this? In Hyuk Lee?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a cool cover. I like that one.
Yeah. Again, these would have, like Marco, like I said, these would have cost me $4.50 each.
No, $1 recently.
And the
Yeah,
Boba Fett. Then they love to give you
those
Boba
cover
Fett.
Yeah, Boba Fett action figure covers.
That,
I like that. I got
Dom's
more
looking at this
grades.
box. It's like all Boba Fett.
Yeah, dude. I was like, thanks for buying me all these books, Pete.
Wait, what is? Hey, does this look familiar?
Yes.
Yeah. Is
That was the
East?
only cover that came out with that book. I love that book.
And it's got the little trading card from
Yeah.
IG Comic Store too.
Isn't
That's
it
awesome.
literally just the book they just?
Yeah, reuse the art.
I wanted to use that. Get that. Get that.
Oh,
grade.
here we go. We got our soap opera star.
Hey.
There
Hey, very
Another
good cover.
Mayhew.
I
Another
saw a bunch
Mayhew.
of
Yeah,
those.
they got some Mayhew books in here.
They do a lot of Mayhew exclusives. I think.
Yeah, and this is a
That-
Virgin one too. It's not like
that one's-
leftover
that one's
trash.
like- That one's selling for like $20 right now after Celebration.
Yeah, comes with
Hey.
Oh, and we do got the
Party
trading
money
card to
back.
go with it.
Vernestra or Burnt
So
Vern.
it's got the set and our last book,
Mayhew.
Babar
Hey,
Chris.
Chris.
Another Mayhew.
What a Mayhew in that one.
Damn,
It's all
you beat
Mayhew.
it out, man.
That's cool though.
I think they retail his exclusives there in Canada a lot. From my
Yeah.
emails, I see.
Hey,
Hey, listen, I actually just
keep it
tagged
up.
him. I tagged him in one of the books I had, and he liked it.
Did you even tag him, or did he just respond?
So I tagged him.
Okay.
I tagged him
So,
in the thing.
What was the final total? You got what 11 books for
Yeah,
What was the-
$45 plus shipping.
So think about it. Add
Like
those books up.
450
You probably got more.
big cover basically for a whole bunch of exclusives. That's not bad.
Yeah, well, actually less than 4 because you figure it's 11 books, like you said. It's a mystery
Yeah,
box of 10 and
about
the
$4.
exclusive.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I don't know if you guys were looking. I have a pickup too. I don't know if you guys were looking at the chat earlier this morning while I was at the con, but I asked somebody if they needed a certain book for. I didn't even tell them I got it for $50. But Dom, did you need a Job of the
Yes,
Hutt 1 in
I was
100?
working when I seen the thing.
No, you weren't, dude. Your posts right after that
No,
were
I posted
a meme
some-
about how the Mandalorian is the
I
man.
said-
Dude, you posted 3 fucking memes after that, bro.
No, I didn't. The means I know I freaking sent you a thing, but I said, "What's up?" I said,
I'm
"Yeah,
like,
I do
Dom,
need it."
do you need one? They had fucking all your Boba Fett 1 in 25s for $10. There's 2 of these. I was like, Dom, do you need one?
It wasn't actually that clear. If that's what you were asking.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
that's
didn't
okay.
necessarily say you just said, Dom, do you have one?
Yeah, I say, Dom, do you have one?
Did you say, what's
You
up?
just said, hey, I have an
figured- I
opportunity
didn't
to
know.
get this book for you.
I thought you were just bragging. I got this one for cheap.
No, I was like,
have
hey,
one?
do you have one? Like, I've said it before. Do you have one? Like, do you have one? Because who knows what he buys all the time? He buys shit all the time.
I know you.
No response. Instead, it was a fucking IG post. Somebody else. It was actually pretty funny. Where the one was like, "Oh, you're just the armor. I'm the Mandalorian." So I laughed at that because it was fucking funny.
You
What was
must
the other one?
understand the ascension of Dom's superpower is that he can post memes now without even thinking. It's like
Yeah.
it's like a psychic connection to the internet. He just posts those memes.
I will tell you one thing about that book, that 1 to 100. Be careful about them because I looked at like 6 or 7 of them just to see if they were there. And in the middle, if you tilt it right, you could see that there was a printer press, like that's like across the line, like almost like a printer crease, almost kind of like a it was like a printer crease.
Well, the Boba Fett has it too.
On the 1 to
Boba Fett
100s, yeah, on the creases. Yeah.
Color breaking, or you press it out?
No, not color breaking, but it's not. It's
like
not
a printing.
Yeah, it's a
Looks like a
printing crease.
subscription fold.
If it's common enough,
Yeah, it's common enough that you're gonna have to wait a while if you want to get graded. Now, I'm pretty sure if I'm not that lazy, I might ship this one out to you.
No, I think what Wayseeker was getting to is if it's common enough. It
Wait
makes
a minute.
it
If Dom gets that comic book before I get my box of stuff, then
I asked you for your list, bro. I don't know what I need to give
that
you.
box, you're not going to be able to afford the shipping on that box. It's getting so big.
Yeah, I can afford the shipping on the box. Bro.
It's gonna have to get
That ain't a
a
problem.
freighter to
Wow.
get a boat out there.
Ford Marco.
The problem is reminding what the fuck's supposed to be in the box.
everything, all their boxes, just
Yeah.
send them all.
Just go back.
They're
and
still
review
like
the
Kyle.
Star Wars
I still have a Christmas themed box for Kyle from 2 years ago that I still haven't shipped out.
I still got 2 boxes I got to send out to Astro and to Longbox. Tommy.
Hey, Master. I think it's actually Jedi. I think one of your boxes is somewhere in my truck someplace. I don't know because
I'm gonna hold this ransom, Marco, until you send those guys their stuff. Because whenever I send you something, I was gonna send you this Pez dispenser because I know you like Pez. I've been holding on.
Jedi, send me what you want. You got what you want, buddy. And I said maybe to Dom because Dom didn't respond back in time. I would have wanted to.
You know, all right. But I'm 18% rate sometimes.
No, 0.18.
Be a Dommer. Hey, leave Dom alone. People screw up saying shit all the time. Leave him alone.
No, I liked it.
Team Dom. Team Dom.
All right, moving along.
Move along. Are we doing Mando or are we doing book review?
Mando.
Well, I say do Mando because
Okay, Mando.
then I
We
can
have
drop off. on the book
8,000
review.
slides for Mando. Doo-doo. Mando.
Uh,
All right, so we get this is. I actually thought this was kind of cool because it was kind of to scale. It looked dope. As far as but this is the only question: how the fuck is this thing just roaming around there for anybody?
exactly.
I
You
know.
ever seen it?
Yeah.
But hey, maybe
What?
Well,
What'd
why
you
do they
say?
make the
Blended
probe
in.
droid so easy to spot?
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
it blended in with
You know what? I asked myself that question, and then I just go, "This is how, if we want to enjoy any of the stuff that Dave and John put out, we just have to just fuck it, man.
Just
Fuck
let it go.
Yeah, just let it go.
Yeah.
Well, in the previous episode little scenes they did, it showed the scientist dude getting his brain scrambled. So I thought we were going to get something about that, and then we just get this. That's a little
No, I think it was just to show
It was
her.
just to preface her. I think.
that Moff Gideon's around.
So then we can have Moff Gideon pop up, which we
I
said
don't know if
Moff
we'll see
Gideon was
that
the
dude
big
anymore. I
man.
don't know.
Huh?
I don't know that we'll
I
see
don't know what
Pershing
happened.
anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Pershing.
think Pershing's dead.
I don't think he's dead, but I think his mind's
He
what.
said
I
they
think-
melted-
I
I think if you go back to the episode, I said he melted his brain, and somebody here said they didn't melt his brain, but whatever. I think his
Well,
brain's
his knowledge
melted.
of cloning is gone. I think Moff Gideon got it.
No,
Damn, Dom, just let
that's
just
not what.
Dom, you had it for a second. We could have just gone from it and gone like, oh, then you bring up how you said he wasn't dead, his brain wasn't melted. They're gonna use him, but no, okay. All right, so there's Moff Gideon. Looks good. All this look good. She's got a fresh cut. She's looking slick, back and forth. Then all of a sudden he goes through the 80 slider red.
That's the Phantom Menace. The Phantom Menace with the glasses.
Yeah, but why did he have to protect it?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that?
Especially with all those
And those
big
dudes are
jobs.
stuck. What if that guy's getting like 3 deep? Has to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, dude.
I get the homage, but it wasn't necessary. I don't know why they did
Yeah.
it.
Those troopers are awesome. I can't wait for the hot dog.
So can they afford like a full floor for his army to stand on? Like really?
Yeah, and by the way, what happens if you just float underneath and then go underneath the outside and then come up on the other side if you have a jetpack? Because they all have jetpacks. So technically, they don't even need the door. They can just because if you see to the side on both sides, it's clear there, and you can fly underneath. So you don't even need the doors. You could just fly underneath, fly back.
Well, it doesn't even go where they are. You can
All
just
right.
hop from
What are the clones?
where they are.
We got clones here. We got clones there. We got clones everywhere.
I guess that's what they're protecting, the clones.
Are they? Well, it's also a secret Dinosaur chamber where he's going to talk to the.
Those are for sure clones, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Those
so
are
talk
clones.
about it,
Those are the clone troopers.
You're JJ. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
Because I mean,
I
Dark
thought
Troopers
they
are
were clones, but you're right. They could be people just sitting in tanks and he manning up or whatever. You're right.
Yeah.
They're clones.
It's only 0.18 per acre.
They're
I
clones.
assume they're clones given Pershing's mind and all that stuff, but
And then he had a,
they don't make that very clear. But
All right, I got one quick practical question about this Shadow Council. How come Moff Gideon gets to wander around and turn around and talk to everybody, but everybody else is standing still? Like, I don't understand how that works.
No, they could do it too in theirs. That's just.
But
how
they're
the fucking
they're
works.
all standing still. Nobody's moving. They're showing full bodies.
I like
Well,
when
no,
Moff
they
Gideon-
move. They move a little bit.
I like when
dude.
there's the full 360 turn. In
Yeah,
the
like he's
middle.
wandering through, like talking to all individually. Like
Yeah.
he's doing a
that
dance.
was my
and-
question too, Justin. Like, if they are clones, like, who is he cloning? But I think he's trying to make like Dark Troopers,
But if Dark Troopers are clone, that's
like
a
human Dark Troopers. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Well,
what
why
I,
did you-
that's
Those
what I
are
mean.
clones,
Like,
the
he's moving
troopers,
on from
the troopers that
droids.
came in, that's his clones.
Boba
That's
Fett.
how they made the clones.
Boba Fett.
Nope.
Boba Fett.
Listen,
Well, I think
if
that's
you
what
go
he's
back
using.
to if you go back,
Wait,
Jedi
you're right,
DNA.
Don. Boba Fett showed up in this episode. He's writing this
Wait.
too.
let me tell you something. If you go back to when Pershing was talking about the cloning, you could take the best of two things and put them together and merge them together. This is what he's doing.
I don't understand, Dom.
What was that?
Well, I think I get what Dom's saying, because even he says it at the end when he's talking about you take from those that are conquered, you take from the Mandalorians have this to offer, the Jedi have this to offer. Like he's trying to take the best from.
And that's what he's doing. He's taking all that and making his own clones.
Making
Joe's right.
something.
He's starting a microbrewery.
Gideon's Guinness. Gideon's Guinness.
There you go.
And
Thank
it's a
you.
stout.
All right, next up, so we get to see the Shadow Council. We'll talk about this.
That
a
time
little
of year to do it. We gotta get
We
ready
get
for
this
spring.
guy,
man.
we get this guy, and then we get this
Uncle
lady,
Fester.
and then we get this guy who might be somebody, and then we get this guy, and then we get this guy who is somebody,
Yep.
and then we get this guy who definitely somebody.
Yep.
Hi, Dad. He's that guy's kid.
Hi, Dad. Hi, brother.
There you go.
Yeah, his brother dad.
His brother died.
So there you go. So the original. This actually came out in one of my favorite books that we always talk about, and I think everybody who read it enjoys it, except for Jedi, because Jedi only likes the Handmaid's Tale. But Aftermath series by Chuck. A lot of this was stolen there, including the Jedi Council.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I thought you'd love the Shadow Council part because of the Aftermath connection. I was like, ooh,
I
Michael's gonna
did,
love it.
I did, but okay. So left over from the Shadow Council, I did, but they bastardized it. Of course they did. And for those people that don't know, Ray Sloan went with two other. He went with this guy right here, Hux,
Mhm.
out it and this
Yeah,
and
there's Hux,
this guy.
mhm.
Hi, Dad. Both went out with both Hux out into the unknown region to go find Thrawn. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
so.
Also, Shadow Council would have been a perfect opportunity to introduce Ray Sloan, but whatever.
Well, we're not saying that they didn't. But then too, I thought this guy back here does
Are
kind
you
of look.
saying she's Asian now?
No, I'm saying she's just not there because it looked like there could have fit more people there. This guy looked like Rand, a description kind of how Rand was too, General Rand. So if that's General Rand, and that's Huck, I mean, they've got three of the people on. There could possibly be three of the people that were on the original Shadow Council that are still alive.
Then Paleon's there for
Mhm.
no reason.
Yeah,
Because
Paleon's
Dave
are there for
Filoni
no
likes-
reason.
He's only there because Dave Filoni used them in Rebels, and
Yeah, yeah.
feels
No
he gotta
reason
use
this
them
guy's
again.
here. No reason. For those people that don't know, he's the guy that was with Anakin all the time. There's no reason for him to be here.
But he thinks Thrawn's coming. Did anyone else get the feeling that they were annoyed by his Thrawn prediction? Because
You got your Moff
always say
Gideon
Thrawn's
doesn't care
coming.
about Thrawn. He
We're
wants to
just
be the
waiting
leader.
for him.
He wants to rule.
Huh? What?
No, it says Moff Gideon wants to rule. He don't care about Thrawn.
I
That's
don't know
what
if Gideon wants that. Well, maybe.
I don't think Gideon wants that. I think Gideon's just as sick of hearing about it. He doesn't care. He just
He's
wants
like,
resources.
where is he?
This is a lot. This actually, the one thing that they did keep from the book is kind of how this council, or even how some of the remnants interacted. They're always looking for resources, and we're always kind of like, oh, that's what you're backing. Well, I'm backing something else, and I'm backing. I will give you this. They did
use that part of the book here where they kind
Oh,
of
you're in on clones, huh? Well, guess what? I'm stealing children.
Yeah, there's team ups and shit like that, which is kind of cool. So you're right, JJ. I did kind of like that portion of it, but I just thought like it was the opening door for Sloane, and maybe it's because we're going to see her later. Who knows? But like, it doesn't make any sense why she wasn't there if you're going to keep, like, if they were literally on the fucking the plane with her or the fucking destroyer. Why the fuck are you
guys are still on the
because
bird.
it's Favreau and Filoni, and got to do what we create. And
did they not? They didn't create that. Well, they didn't create the Shadow Council. They just stole it.
You either steal it or you create it.
Yeah, well,
They
okay.
didn't
So
create
then,
Paleon either. They just stole it, and then for Rebels, and then stole it.
Boba
again for this.
Light. Hey, give him the bell. Give him the bell on some of these. Come on, these guys need some bells.
Wrong show for the bell.
Midichlorian IPA.
Wrong show.
Maybe we can
All
do
right.
something different for this. We can give a lightsaber igniting or a blaster fire.
There you guys go. You get that. All right. Either way, good comments. So then, yeah, as you say, Moth Gideon says, I don't give a shit. I just want my resources. You guys are idiots. Who cares about anything else? Ray Sloane was a member of the Shadow Council who dealt with the Rexing, but she eventually would go out to. The last time we saw her, she was with both the Huxes, and she was Grand Admiral. She was the Grand Admiral of what was the remnants of the Imperial. Doing this off the top of my head, JJ, so if I'm getting anything wrong, please fill me in. She was the Grand Admiral for it. She ended up there's a guy named Rex who ended up just blowing it. He was going to do the Cinder project. She ended up taking the Huxes and a couple other people too, and she went out to the unknown regions to go find Thrawn, even though, well, she went there to go find the rest of the fleet and build up the fleet, come back one day, which is the assumption is she also went out to go find Thrawn. She's been gone ever since. She's a very cool character. And she does show up in the Thrawn comic books too. That's her first appearance, right? Either way.
No,
it's
Kanan. Comics. Kanan.
Does she show up in the comics or no? She shows up in the comics somewhere.
She shows up in the comics in Kanan.
Oh, she shows up in Kanan. That's right. She shows
up. She's commander. She's not admiral then. But...
She was.
She becomes the admiral.
She was in the video game. Yeah. The Squadron video game.
Yeah, because that was about Cinder. That was when the Shadow Council was there.
She's in the book, the Kanan book. She's been in lots of stuff.
Yeah. She's been around. Solo Ice.
Still doing
Solo Ice. That's funny. Yeah. All right. So there's Sloane. Then it's called the Spies. 23, and then we get to see all
everybody trying to guess the Spies.
Don't worry, Dom's got 80 things. Oh my gosh, what's coming over us? A big ship.
Can we go over one thing before we move on too much from the Shadow Council?
Okay, go
Project
ahead.
Necromancer name drop thing.
Yeah,
I'm still confused on that. Is that supposed to be? Do we think that's Palpatine's?
Yes, that's
Resurrection?
Palpatine's thing. Operation Neurodancer. Neurodancer. That's what it means for. That's his project.
So
bring
then,
back the dead. To bring back.
Why is
how's that?
What?
How's that?
What That's what Hux's father works on. He's the one that's working on the clones.
That's not what Hux's father works on.
Yes, he was with the cloning.
No, that's not. Hey, that isn't Dom. Hux's father was training a bunch of little army people. Army kids to be
Hux's
psychopaths.
father was also part of the cloning process to try to get Palpatine to bring back Palpatine. That's why he was part of that project.
No, Dom.
No, Hux's father thing was building up the military with the
with the
Project Resurrection.
But didn't you hear Moff Gideon tell him that he go about the cloning? He goes, that's your thing.
Yeah,
because they don't know
told that to Gideon, right? That the cloning was his thing, right?
Yeah, he told Gideon. No, Hux told Gideon that was his
Project
thing.
Necromancer is my thing. Like, are they both cloning? Like, is that their deal?
They don't know what Gideon's doing. Gideon's doing his own thing. That's why he said, "Oh, that's your own thing, cloning." But
so they just
Gideon
give
has his own
resources to this
cloning
dude.
job.
They know what he's doing. Like, I don't know. It seems weird.
Yeah, but I don't think Hux was related to that.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think no. So in the books, real quickly, just so you know, that the dad Hux is all about like infantry, building armies, training kids, and then like doing like the human version of the clone project, i.e.,
just kind of brainwashing children instead of
brainwashing kids.
I know he's kidnapping. You got the idea from the Jedi taking the other kids.
Yeah,
at a young age. That's what he.
they were just doing
indoctrinating them into their.
Yeah. Okay.
So he could just be making them zombies. But yeah, it's probably fucking
they said Project Neuromancer, so I don't know if he was talking about that. And that's the
that could be that I think JJ's hinting that could be that, or is it that they're making the kids fucking The Walking Dead?
No, but I don't know who.
No, I I think they're making
related
it a
to that
Palpatine
project.
connection. I just don't think they have their. I think they're erasing the previous Hux canon and just going a different way with it.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's my thing.
Very cool. All right.
Because Favreau's like, I gotta connect this to the sequel trilogy somehow. Let me do this.
Here's one better for you, Burger King. Hey, Dub, was I at the con today? People actually see me outside, Burger King. I'm like you. All right, here we go. So we get a little bit of Mando. We get a bunch of the ships. Hey, there's all the Mandalorians. Hey, they're outside. They just sat in the desert and they're refusing to go in the city. That's okay though, because then all of a sudden the sun's being blocked out like a million arrows. Oh no, wait, there's a ship coming. Who could it possibly be? Oh, I don't know. Did you look at the marking on it? It's a. There you go.
How long would it have taken to paint that goddamn decal on that thing?
Well, it was on there already. Think about it. Remember, they left the Bo-Katan for the longest time. So
Yeah, but they had to paint it on.
They
No,
painted
I'm not
Mr.
saying they
Scott.
did it.
After Bo-Katan took it.
I'm just saying in general, how long it took
droid
to
labor.
paint that on there.
Oh, that probably took a while.
Droid labor.
Yeah, but if cloning is, I think the point is if cloning is Hux's thing, then what is then are those clone tubes? That makes sense too. Whatever.
Yeah,
We're not going to get back
No,
into
Moff Gideon
I'm
is
still
making
confused
his.
on
Moff
Clone
I'm not,
Gideon wants
yeah,
to
I'm not
leave.
getting back into it. We're not dumb. We're moving.
What?
Armor comes outside to see the people coming in, and then all of a sudden,
Quick question. You see the
Foreshadowing.
child sitting on, you see
Foreshadowing.
Grogu sitting on Bo-Katan's lap.
Oh, I know what he's going to say.
I'm
I
just
should
saying, but that's foreshadowing some things. So why is he sitting on her lap and not his?
Because Dan looks like he's asleep.
sleeping.
He's thinking of that. That's all. That's all.
Cause mom, sometimes I sit on mom's lap, sometimes I sit on dad's.
He normally sits in the pilot seat, so
That's why
Hmm.
it's becoming her show.
It is not.
What are you? Oh my god!
Did you not watch this
reaching with
episode?
Did
that.
you
a little
watch
bit.
this episode?
This
Al?
episode just
watched
completely
it.
ruined
Did
your
you
theory.
watch the
Your
episode?
hair is gone.
And by the way, when I'm trying to give you a free like $150 book, you're sending me fucking memes that actually make the point against what you're saying right now. They literally say the show's called The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
I
I know
am
it.
the Mandalorian.
It's called The Mandalorian, but it's the way they're going about the show, making it look
It's all
like.
about this
And they even say it's about his quest. His quest
This is why
in
we
this
can't get the
episode.
fuck out of
I
here.
know, but his quest is coming to a end.
No.
No,
He's
it's
gonna
not.
go and help.
They did. They just kidnapped him. They literally only took one person.
It's not
It's not coming to an end. He's just explained what his quest is and why he's been doing what he's been doing.
I know, but he's gonna get. Look, all kidding aside, when I get to the part I gotta talk about, there you go.
Hold on. So then all of a sudden,
I
everybody
mean,
just
you probably think he's gonna die. Like all
There's
he
I don't
does
think
is
he's gonna die.
stop. Let's get through some of these slides. We'll never
He's
get
not
through
dying.
these.
He's
You
not
guys are
dying.
fucking ridiculous.
Mine
All
was.
right, hey, hold on.
We'll save it for the end, Dom.
Save it for the end. Yeah. So then all of a sudden, of course, the children of the Watch are coming out trying to be tough. They're like, let's look at these guys. And then the Night Owl groups are going, oh, yeah, look at these guys. It's got dad, mom, and the kid there. And then all of a sudden, mom takes off her helmet, and so does everybody else. And the other group's just like, okay, well, we're going to slam the fucking. This doesn't make any sense either, because the armor isn't really even known to the other group, right? Like, they don't really.
We don't know.
Yeah, but they all know.
No, we do. We actually do. We actually do, because when Axe and them fucking ran into her, they were like, we don't even know who this broad is. So if you go back to season 2 or 1, we do. They don't know.
Yeah, they don't need to know who she is, but they do know the sound of like the hammer, like because
Yeah, I
they're
guess.
all-
But she's like, hey, let's all eat.
Who
Cool.
makes the other group's armor?
Maybe
They all had it,
they've
didn't
hung
they?
on to it.
Surely
since
repairs
before.
are necessary or something. Like
Nope, do it yourself. DIY kits, dude. That's why it isn't as shiny as Din's, because the rest of the group did. Didn't take off.
Yeah, they all went with matte finishes.
All of a sudden, because we needed this, he's like, "What's up, dude?
Here's the
some real
Michael
expensive."
Jordan, the Michael Jordan freaking vodka.
He's like, "Here's some real expensive wine. Don't share it with anybody." Which is kind of funny, because he technically can't share it with anybody, because he can't drink it without taking his helmet off. So,
And yet, Dom, despite 100 Mandalorians there, he still calls this dude Mando.
Mando, yeah,
I know.
Mando.
I know,
He's
Mando.
the man.
all these Mandalorians, and he goes, "You are
It would be funny if
Mando."
they all like turned around and said, "What? What? Who? What?"
He's like, "By the way,"
It's like calling the guy, "Hey Bob," and they all turn around at the same time.
He goes, so he's like, hey, by the way, come by the shop or store or wherever the fuck he lives to pass. I got something for you. He's like, what do you got? And he's like, well, I got this droid, the only droid you kind of like.
But I've
You know,
followed
these
him
little
out.
creepy gremlin things are in there
It's a
swearing, saying you guys suck, and then Grogu's like, "Oh, I'm gonna wrestle that thing
This was
up."
funny. I love this.
And
I
all
like
of a
what
sudden,
he
the thing comes down there. I don't know if I got that part. He's like, "Hey, listen, maybe we put the baby in." And he's like, "Don't." And Grogu's like, "Get out of my way." And the little rat thing goes, "Don't do it. Don't give me a hug. Don't do it."
Squeeze,
Yeah, call him
motherfucker.
a
And he
bad
walks
baby.
away.
He does not say that.
Motherfucker.
Dom.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he says no
does
squeeze.
not.
No
Dom,
squeeze.
Dom, how do you watch the episode and then watch shit on the internet and then now figure out that this shit
Now
on the
you hear the part.
internet
What does he say at the end after he says no squeeze, bad baby? All right, out,
He does-
motherfucker.
He does not say that. Dom, he does not say that. Oh my god. Yeah, he said bad baby, no squeezies.
No squeeze, bad baby.
All right, so then all of a sudden they put him in here, and then we get
I
the
also
yes
like,
no.
because like, he's not going to fit. Oh, yeah, he'll
I got
fit.
Mando
Now he's
immediately
crying.
hated
Yes.
the yes no thing.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Dude, Wayseeker said something. So last week, if you watched JJ or whatever, we talked a little bit afterwards, a little bit more civil. And Wayseeker said something. I think he's right. When they do more of this dumb shit, people love it, dude.
Yeah.
And this was kind of like whatever, but he's all of a sudden saying yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Like any
I like how-
toddler
Did you
would.
see?
But he's also 50, dude. Like,
But I know, but now
That-
he's not going to be dependent on being carried. He has his own mech.
except for he had the fucking egg. He could drive wherever the fuck he wanted. What are you talking about? He had
Yeah,
this
that was
thing. He could do whatever he wanted in that thing.
He's a
I know,
Professor X
but
chair.
now he's his own person. Now he can interfere. He can do things. He can pick up a blaster.
He's got the
He's
force.
got the force.
I know,
He
but
shoved
he'll
a giant
use it.
dick out of the way
He
4
should use
episodes
it.
ago.
He used it to go hug Lizzo last episode.
Come on, girl.
What are you talking about? He's always been able to do shit. This is a yes
I
no
like
thing.
this. This was funny as shit. I like this.
This
Go ahead, Jedi.
I did not like this. For one,
I thought it was kind of cheap.
it
I
is,
like
it
Wayseeker.
is
I get why they
cheesy. If they're gonna do it, at least do it right. Or instead of him having these two like Atari 2600 joysticks, and he just like that's so freaking stupid. At least like if they want to do it right, give him like some sort of head cerebral fucking thing that he can control it with his mind or something.
How about a screen, a shield, something?
That would've
Hey,
been
we
cooler.
finally heard. Hey, Dom got this one right. I guess we have to give it to him because he said Grogu was going to
I wouldn't-
speak. Grogu spoke. Yes, no, yes, no, yes,
No,
no.
And then he can talk. He can figure move out. But
I
the
wanted
fact is that
I
he
wanted
has
the
his own
other
mech
5
droid.
parts to come together and then form some sort of large anime robot
Come on,
with
bro.
a sword.
This wasn't that bad, guys. Get out
Hey,
of
listen,
here.
It's not
we all know that Dave and John like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Krang, come on.
This is the stuff that a good segment of this people that like this show that aren't
Yes.
huge Star Wars fans like, and
That's not even where
important.
Krang is. Krang is lower. If you don't know,
But-
Krang
I know,
is.
but it's still.
Yeah, it's more belly.
Well,
No.
we'll comment
Yeah,
on
but
it more maybe later, but like I do think I agree with Wayseeker that that's what it is, but also I think they kind of paint themselves in the corner. Like if you think like Jon Favreau's like, I want to do this show for 10 years, is Grogu going to be a 50-year-old baby for the entire 10-year run of this show? Like, ugh. You know.
yeah, like when is he going to be?
All right.
Also,
move
too,
along.
it's funny how
Self-sufficient.
Grief Karga can draw down on pirates, but he's also like Grandpa Karga when like for this episode.
So then Yoda. So then little Grogu's stealing shit, but then he doesn't have anything to pay for it. And at that point, I'm like, hey, take it out on this guy. He's 50 years old. He's living in your house. Get him the fuck out the house for one. Get him a job. He's got this whole
It's like
robot
you
thing.
feel his hunger hanging out.
Yeah, kick this old ass thing out your house already. Here, stop paying for this bum. Then he grabs a fruit.
Yoda, and what's the other one's name?
Yaddle.
Yaddle.
Like the most intelligent, wisest creatures in the universe, and this thing is 50 years old, and it doesn't know it's not supposed to steal shit.
Yeah.
Well, Yoda
It's-
stole stuff
and-
in the Empire
also-
Strikes Back. He was
Put up
stealing good
Justin's
stuff.
comment is a good point too. Where like
He
in,
was
like,
just messing
episode
with
one,
Luke, though.
I know,
episode
but
1 or
that's
2,
still.
they're like, "Hey, this droid was my friend, so we're gonna wear his clothes around."
It's kind of. I like that, dude. I like it. We gotta get the bell or something over here too, because I like that comment also. That was a solid comment. All right. So anyway, so then he squirts. This guy takes it to the face. Ugh! Once
shot.
again, like at some time you gotta like you can't be like all these people. You gotta get these kids out of your basement, bro. Like get them going. Don't pay for that nonsense.
Grogu's on his way to being a Sith, is what's happening. He's a mean.
Hey,
By the way, I guess
I'm blaming
Stealing.
Sticks for like this new toy that Marco has because this review has way too many slides.
Hey, by the way, I like that they were taking their new incentives, the bird people, and burn them
birds
so
that
they
they
can eat
took,
them.
they cook it and eat them.
That's what I was
Birds are
wondering.
big
Did they
as
cook
fuck.
those little baby birds?
That's
The
what it looks
baby
like. It
birds
looks
are
like
That's
freaking
what it looks
food.
like, yeah.
They gotta eat.
I thought they were going to
That
train
is
them
the
to be
way.
riding them.
Yeah,
Man, it's a
that was
desert
wrong.
planet, okay?
Got that one wrong.
You take what food source you can get.
The
Who
thing almost
wants
needs
chicken?
made.
Big
All
old
right,
turkey
here.
legs.
All right. So then they're like, oh yeah, here we go.
There's Paz who looks like he could eat a
Yeah.
few less birds.
Yeah. All he needs food. Then all of a sudden, Bo gets up and gives her speech. I'm gonna go back there. We're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. Mando's like, I'm in, and so's the baby. So this baby's like a 2-year-old that can only
They
say
all
yes
say
and
I'm
no
in.
in 1 minute.
Everybody's like, oh, man.
And the next minute he's like, I'm in. And then everybody
I
gets
am
inspired.
Spartacus.
I'm in, and I'm in, and I'm in, and I'm in. The
Sasha
armor's like,
Banks is in.
This is like Star Trek.
yeah, I'm in too.
Bring some
Yeah,
red shirts along.
My
I
team
do wanna
is
say one
ready,
thing,
but
though.
I don't have a command crew.
I do think this is cool. I
I
like
like
seeing
it
inside
too.
these ships. I don't know why Mando's just sitting there chilling the whole time.
He's
What-
not
what-
part of either group, man.
Yeah, he's not
not
being
with
part of
these
the group.
people.
Oh, that's where it's shut down. All right, so now we got to get to second. That was only 71 slides. We got to get to the second part of slides. So then they start going back. They take the trip back. Ooh,
One
white
quick thing,
outlines.
like when, like, does anybody notice, like, neither side, and at least one half of this group of Mandalorians knows her history. Like there's this history, and like Din has that like heartfelt conversation with her about, I follow you because you're a good leader and a good person. And
Yeah. We're gonna
But,
do
like,
that later.
Does anybody
We're gonna do
forget
that
the
later.
part where she was? Okay, we'll
JJ,
do it later. Okay.
Cutting into the later part where she gives the speech. Yeah, but that's all right. So then all of a sudden the armor is driving, and so is Grogu somehow. Or I think that's just where you sleep, because as he brought up earlier, there's no way this little baby's doing anything.
I think it's
with it.
replacing his pod.
He's gonna be able to pilot down the road because remember he was taught in the
He's gonna be a pod racer down the road.
He's learned how to be a pilot already, but he hasn't picked up on don't steal shit from strangers.
No.
The only question I have is
There.
why were these guys flying for so long with the fucking evac door open? They just were like that.
They like
that's
the
not
cool
really-
breeze in their nethers.
Yeah, right. They're another region. So there you go.
Because that's the new Disney World ride. You just don't know it yet.
Yeah, right.
Trevor did talk
Galaxy's
here we go.
Edge.
So he jumped in. It didn't seem like there's that many people, anyways, going. But either way, he comes back up. He's like, eject them all now. Oh, and there's the little other robot too. So then they all get to do the. How many fucking superhero landings were in this fucking thing, dude?
That was cool.
There was like all these guys. Everybody did superhero landing in here except for the main character. He just walks out the thing. No.
I
always
thought they were
waiting for
also
that one
low on
Mandalorian.
fuel. Weren't they making the whole big deal? Like, oh, we don't got that much fuel. Can't go flying everywhere. Well, why?
Remember when I said that they're
going
going to have a lot of ships? They had a lot of ships in this one.
Well, they refueled over there in Navarro. You didn't see it. There you
Yeah,
go.
but they didn't need to jump out of the ship. They could have just landed and all walked off the goddamn.
Well, they went down there first to make sure that it was
yeah,
safe.
the land, yeah. But then you get the
Safe.
Pirates of the
Which was
Caribbean.
stupid. Okay.
Then you get the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes, we get guys. As I've said ever, we have to give a little bit of disbelief with this writing. The writing is bad. I will agree with you, but you just got to get over it at this point. There's only one episode left, so here we go. Then all of a sudden, fucking Captain Jack Sparrow.
But let me ask you a question.
This is the life from Waterworld.
First of all, they're on the planet. You tell me the Imperials couldn't see these guys? Come on.
The Imperials didn't care about them because they weren't messing with the Imperials.
Yeah, they said they were hiding and running for the Imperials when the
Yeah,
Imperials
they
stopped.
left.
Yeah, but they said they were hungry and food. But you know what?
Well, they've
But-
been there probably for
Yeah,
what,
totally.
Well,
decades.
but Skinny Pete. If Skinny
These
Pete,
people were like near death. Why are the Imperials gonna
Yeah, so
come
the
out of their
scruff-
secret hidden base and threaten these people that aren't gonna do anything?
I
to
know,
them?
Yeah,
but
once
the
the
fact is
Imperials
that
don't
when you have
bomb, they're
Skinny Pete,
out.
when you have Skinny Pete there, Skinny Pete is up to no good. Breaking
What?
Bad. Skinny Pete from Breaking Bad. That's who he is.
Why is he bad? Just because he was
I don't
bad in
know
one
this
show?
I'm telling
Not
you.
even that bad in that show.
Typecast.
All right. So, anyways, so the Scruffies show up. They're like, "Hey, we haven't eaten in a while. Oh yeah, blah blah blah. We can take you wherever you want to go." Then they start talking to Bo, and this is where JJ was referring to earlier. And Bo says something, and very interesting too, because she didn't actually lose the dark saber
She
to
handed over to Saber Pete. Right?
Dom. Wasn't saying anything in the middle world. So she actually handed it over to Moff Gideon. And while she did that, once again, the only person who's the rightful owner of this darksaber, which everybody got mad a couple of weeks ago, is still the Emperor. He's literally the only guy who actually defeated fucking anybody who's still. Well, he's not even alive during this, but he's going to be
Darth
alive
Maul
again.
is still the leader of the thing because they stole it from Darth Maul.
Oh, God.
No, the
Does that mean
Emperor
that Luke
killed.
Skywalker is
Oh
technically
my God! The Emperor beat the Emperor. Well, yeah, maybe it would be. Well, he didn't use the saber then, so it wasn't taken from the Emperor for there. The Emperor was the last person to defeat somebody with the dark saber in battle.
I don't think Emperor didn't use it though, did he?
No, you didn't have to. He just had to beat him.
No,
Well,
but
Maul
the
used it.
technical way,
Maul
was the
used
last
it when
one.
the Emperor had it. Maul used it when the Emperor beat him twice, 2 times.
Din
Well,
basically
but
beat Moff
but the
Gideon.
Emperor didn't
Moff
care
Gideon
about that.
wasn't the rightful owner.
Moff
but he
Gideon
did
was the rightful owner.
I know,
So,
but he still beat him for it. That's all I'm saying.
Moving
Like I'm
along,
saying,
there's
you got to take this
conversation.
all. Once again, you have to take this all with a little bit of disbelief. And
I
I don't.
take it
And
all with
JJ,
that,
I will say this: you're kind of right.
they
I don't
fucked
think
that
they
up.
even know their own story of what they're saying, which is okay. I mean,
Like,
you just
like I
gotta-
said, everybody
Mandalorians don't give
apparently
up.
forgot
I gave up.
Bo-Katan's history of like, hey, remember when you like sided with Death Watch with the Imperials and basically like killed your sister more or less, and was responsible
Well,
for all
the whole fact,
that.
they're probably going to get to that. They probably
well, that was
get
with
to that.
No, they're probably
Maul.
not.
That was actually with Maul. Yeah, it wasn't the Imperials then, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Mall, whatever.
Like Stick says, technicalities.
Yeah. So then they're like, oh wait, but nobody revolted when she's like, no, I just handed everything over and I told him to quit. And she's like, yeah.
And he
And
betrayed
then
him.
you're right. Then Mando gives her the.
You're a good leader, except for all the times
I
you
still
failed
love
as a
you.
leader.
Can we go make out someplace in the closet? You're a great leader and blah blah.
But I
blah,
can't
blah,
show you
blah.
my face, so
We can
I
have
can
a
show you
kid.
my-
We can have
my
we can
devil-
adopt a little green
I'm
50-year-old
really a
child to
stunt
live in
man
our
under this helmet
basement.
right now.
You want to
like
see
they
my
did.
baby Yoda?
yeah. Our creed doesn't
Hey!
prevent me from taking something else out.
Exactly.
Burger King, don't you dare knock sticks. All right. So then he's like, okay, cool. Well, our dead people have to get out of here, but we're going to lead you to where you need to go. And then all of a sudden, the armor takes all the dead people out. This is going to go well.
You're not sick.
And then, of course, they didn't.
That's not
this
suspect at all.
Yeah.
That's
Or
not
is this?
suspect at all.
Oh, this is
Exactly.
going to start a fight.
I like this. He goes, you believe this guy?
I like this because this is all she's done so far is just looked at shit like, dude.
Hey, she
you
got to
didn't
say a
ask me.
line. She got to say.
No, she does
I'm
this
coming.
time. She does. Yeah, she says this one. She says I'm coming. So
Yeah,
She
she
got a
got to
line.
say she was going on the trip.
she talks shit a lot, and then for some reason, just like in the comic where you had Forlom splitting it up, IG 11/12/Grogu. So it would be IG 12G. Is that what
Well,
this
this was vintage WWE because Axe could not lose another face-off.
I know.
Yeah, dude. By the way, how are you?
Have a
You
winner.
can't.
There had to
hey,
be a
you can't-
DQ match. This
You
wasn't
can't.
gonna end.
You can't talk about how crappy Bo is and how much stuff she's lost when you just get your ass kicked by everybody.
I
He
don't
got
even get how he was the leader of the group.
the group. Like I said, dude, Sasha Banks is looking at him like, the fuck
Yeah.
are you?
What do you think, Dax?
There he is.
become
Get
the
his
leader
ass
of the
kicked
group in the
again.
first place.
Yeah.
Like, well, you're the character that has a name, so therefore you could be the leader. That was how it happened.
All right.
Thomas
So, yeah, you see her flying back. I mean, this is just you see her flying
Now,
back to
let me ask you a question. Okay, aside. Did they really have to show her going back to the fleet?
Yes, because
Yes.
it's inferring that she's not on the same team as everybody else.
I don't know if it's inferring that. We'll see.
I don't.
I think I think Mark was
Hmm.
half right. I don't know if inferring is the right word, but I think it's
I
it's
think
making you at least suspect it.
There was a couple because I'm at slide 99 at this
Right.
point. I didn't show all the
But-
pan times that they went to
this
her
is-
face.
But you
This
know
is a
the
red
Empire's
herring.
coming,
This
right?
is a
And they're
red
going to be
herring.
attacking. So there's
know,
a chance that she's the one that that rallies them all together and say we got to fight the Empire. So
But you know what?
I don't. I think it's leading you to believe that, but I don't know if that's actually what's
I
going to
don't
happen.
I mean, I've always been of the thing that she
She's the
wants
one that
to
runs them
take
all up
over.
for the
She
Empire.
wants to run it.
Yeah.
And I'm still after this episode of that belief.
Now, look, let me tell you something. All kidding aside, it's a red herring because I think there's other factors into this. It makes it the things that happened, like the first season when she was the last one in the caverns in the COVID on Navarro, that she was the last one there, and then the second season, she always wound up being like the last one all the time. But it's going to be a crazy twist. It's not her. It's not her.
Well, it wouldn't make sense. Like,
Yeah.
and we have to say crazy twist. I don't think we're just watching the show. I mean, she's obviously manipulating things for her own ends. She didn't just say, "Hey, Bo can walk both ways." Why? Because I said so, people. 'Cause
Yeah.
I need her people because we need her goddamn
She
shit.
wants the people. Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm still on the theory of
Yeah.
I actually think it's somebody. I actually think somebody else.
I don't think
No.
she's a spy. She's not Moff Gideon's spy.
No.
If that's
No.
what we're discussing, I don't
No,
think that's
that-
what it is. I think
No, I don't think she. Even though she has the horns, her history, she could be
Well,
part of
it's not even the
Maul-
horns.
the
Let's not
Mandalorians back in the day.
Let's
that
not
worked for
forget
Death
what-
Watch, because she was part of Death Watch. She made a comment that she was part of Death Watch. She says Death Watch is no longer.
Yeah.
It broke up, so she was part. She made a comment.
she didn't say that, but she didn't say
say
she was
that.
part of Death Watch.
No.
She said Death Watch is no longer. She
No,
said
no.
that.
So
That
I
doesn't mean
think
she said it.
no, I didn't mean to say, it, but I think that she was part of it. You'll find out later on. But
No.
She's probably
What were
Root
you gonna
Cast.
say,
You
JJ?
remember
I heard
Root Cast?
Dom, if it turns out to be Rook Cast, I'm going to run in my underwear around because I called it fucking six.
I know
the
it's
first
gonna be
episode ever.
Hey, you were the
Root
only one.
What?
It's not going to be.
No,
though.
JJ did too. Yeah, me and JJ were.
I know,
It's not.
but
I don't
it's
think.
not going
I'm
to
not
be.
saying now it's
I
gonna
don't
be
want
Rook
to see
Cast.
you running around in your underwear, so please don't let that
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
That is.
Well,
The first thing, hey, the
Nobody
first thing,
needs to
dude,
see.
when this episode happened, there was like 5 people that texted me. They go, "You were right about Rook Cast." I was like, "Well, slow your roll real quick."
Well, listen, let me tell you something. I think it's going to be a crazier twist. I don't, I thought the Rookcast too, but I think there's something much more in a bigger play because think about it. She's not going to be the spy. We all know that.
No,
we
we
don't
don't.
know that. We don't know.
You don't
we
know
do.
that.
We don't know
She's
that.
not the
Okay,
spy.
stop. We don't know. Let's get through this. We got like. I'm sorry, Don, but we got like 20 more slides.
Go ahead.
All right, so they're back now. They're going. All of a sudden, JJ's favorite, the monster of the fucking week, attacks them, and it turns out that it blows them up, but it
That was
doesn't
cool.
blow them up.
Yeah,
And
the
it's-
kaiju destroyed the ship, but not
it
them.
erased it. It was an Achiosaurus, which is one of my favorite.
I thought it was
that
going to be
sucks.
Mythosaur at first. I was like,
No, it's an Achiosaurus. It's
No,
got the
I
big
know.
claws.
The
Oh,
Mythosaur is bigger.
I know.
So then they decide to all go run into some random cave real quickly. And they're like, "Oh shit, that's our path. This is what it looked like." And then all of a sudden we see these swarms about to do the superhero landing, and of course Paz is just blazing them
Let me
up.
ask you a question, and then where you see Axe Wolves shoot up, where'd he go?
Yeah, he kind of disappeared there too. That was a little sus.
Yeah. And he wasn't around for when they captured Darth.
Look, it's Jango Fett though. Jango Fett's back, guys. He put his head back on. It's Jango. I didn't doctor this picture at all. The shit that did not, if that didn't look like Jango Fett, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, then Paz.
Secret
They
military
didn't realize when they're walking down the fucking Imperial hallways that maybe this shit is a trap.
It's like, wait a second, it's pretty
Yeah.
nice down here.
There are rocks, and then all of a sudden it's an
And
Imperial
suspiciously
hallway.
unguarded for a lot of this time.
Oh, we're gonna chase these guys into the Imperial fucking. Yeah.
Who's still powering this thing?
Those things are cool, man. I can't wait for the hot toy.
And then they fly away, and then
I'm
a
gonna buy
bunch
them
more
all.
come down. Yeah, and then we get this where they all, for some reason, there's only 3 got out the door for somehow. I don't even understand how
Beskar,
that.
and he's shooting flames at Beskar.
How is there like 50 guys here? I'm just talking angles alone, like with your line of sight. If your line of sight here is like this, right, and they're going that way and up, you're not stopping inside a tunnel because your line of sight is gone. So how is it that only like
you
3
wouldn't
guys?
be carrying a giant minigun inside a tunnel either.
I'm not just saying John's character. I'm saying in
He
general.
needs to fix his loadout for Rainbow Six because this is not working.
Yeah. And John's leading the charge, the heaviest guy there, and then all of a sudden 3 guys.
Yes, was still rocking her minigun in
Most rotund
Alien.
Mandalorian is up front.
Yeah, whatever. They shut the door. They're starting to trap him, so he tries to set everybody on fire. Dude, this looked like this looked like Peter Pan being dropped.
Yeah,
from
but let me
there.
ask you a question. Why does he have horns in his head? There's something he's mocking Maul to the Bo-Katan.
Maybe the armor made the armor for him. Maybe that's why Dom.
Exactly.
Maybe he's just a fanboy, and he
Maybe
loves
when he was younger, he
his
was
cosplay.
when Maul was part of Mandalore, he was there with Maul.
Maybe it's Gar Saxon's armor rebuilt.
Maybe it is. Who knows?
Yeah, you had to get the armor from somewhere.
Exactly. Well, it's the best card that he had, and someone made it for him. Someone's forging
Like
armor
the
for him.
armor.
Maybe.
No,
We're never gonna find out.
Oh my god!
Sorry, Dom.
Probably the exact same person who made this fanboy. You do know he's obsessed with Mandalorian culture, correct? So let me just pass this theory by you. Whoever made all the Super Trooper here's armors out of Beskar probably made his too. Is that a reasonable explanation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
He
people
made the
and
Super
the ones that were in the armor were clones that he made.
But we don't know they're clones. That's what I'm trying to figure
They're
out.
clones. I'm telling you.
Clones of who?
Clones that he
I'm
made.
telling you can say that as much as you
Moff
want.
Gideon.
Nobody knows anything yet.
Moff Gideon has the
Okay, now explain this.
Yeah.
If they're clones, right? He's a human age, right?
But didn't you hear what he said?
How do they become adults?
Let's just get
Did
through
you-
the episode.
But
Get
did
through
you know
it.
what he said? Did you know what he said? He goes, the best part.
Takes off their
They all have
helmet.
me in it.
There he is.
They all have
Oh,
me
he's
in it.
no
They
longer
got him trapped.
traumatized.
They only trapped one person, by the way, as a focal point of who they wanted to trap. But
Yes,
that's not.
because they tracked it. And look, all kidding aside, how did How did he know that Bo had the darksaber?
What?
Act
Well,
close.
How did you know that she had the darksaber?
Oh my god!
Act
So
close.
Mando's there, blah blah blah. They try to shoot to get it. This is dumb. They try to shoot the blaster door. I don't know why, and why she didn't use the darksaber to try to cut through is beyond me. But then she uses it on the other one to get out.
Well,
which,
they
okay,
would have all died.
yeah, but why were
all
they
gotten
shooting at the
captured.
door? Yeah, but why? Yeah, I know, but they're shooting for whatever. Anyway, so they're all shooting at the door for some reason. That it's a bulletproof door. She digs a hole in the
I
back.
think he's just yelling at the door. Like it's just they're just.
He's already started to
He kinda
overheat.
got-
Huh?
He
What?
to go back to your point though, he kind of got kidnapped by happenstance, right? He just got trapped behind the door.
Yeah, he did get trapped behind the door.
Yeah.
Kind of, but they killed the other ones and didn't.
Yeah,
kill
why
him.
did
My
they
point is, he
bother
wasn't
saving? Like, what is the
specifically
point?
going for him.
Because they want to find out where Luke is.
No,
and
I
my-
said they
don't
weren't
worry about it.
specifically going for him.
I'm telling you, he has the knowledge where Luke is.
Oh my god!
That, listen, that's Moff
All right,
Gideon's
Doc. All right.
plan.
We heard it. We heard it already. We heard
No,
it.
no,
How
we,
does
the
he
rest of the
know?
people didn't hear it though. We
We
heard
did.
it. We
No.
heard it.
Well, we heard what you're saying there. We gotta get through it. So they dug through a hole. Now I'm wondering why Wayseeker's so quiet because he wants Dom to say this thing so he can scream at Dom. The gun starts overheating. Well, he actually body slams. This is pretty sweet. Good action.
he
Like,
fucking
there was a lot of good
fucking
action in this, man. There's
It
a
was,
lot of
yeah.
good action in this. He was slamming people around, doing all types of stuff. Okay, this is the question I have. So there's a kink in the armor, right? Like, so they did this to make it shown that there are holes in Mandalorian armor, right? Because only one guy ends up killing him.
I don't know because
No,
That
two guys
or-
got him.
They all stabbed.
No.
They stabbed a couple times.
No, I went back and watched it. I watched this shot for shot. The guy in the back, they show it 2 or 3 times, but it's right there in that shoulder plate. This one in the stomach actually doesn't go in. He actually stops this one. And
No,
the
I
guy
think
in
the
the
other
other
one
the
went in,
whole
but that
stomach is
didn't
not
kill
best
him
star?
going in the stomach.
seems
But I
like a-
think
I have a
this guy
question about
going
that.
down through
No,
his
no,
body.
I did it. So I did shot for shot. That one never goes in his. You think because you watch it in real time, that one goes in his stomach. When you watch it shot for shot, it doesn't. I don't know if that-
the shot
He
for
was
shot.
tired too, man. He could have took him on if he wasn't as tired he
Like
was.
going in there.
Yeah, I just took it as he got
I
stabbed
have a
twice.
question.
Like plenty of people have gotten past gut stabs. We
Well, the
saw
other thing
the
is, are these
Inquisitor get
electrostabs or
through that?
whatever? I mean, they're not lightsabers, so they could possibly penetrate Beskar. You don't know.
Yeah,
I
it
think it just
looked
went
like
into the hole,
where-
the gaps. Like there's
It looked like
gaps
it went
in
to the
armor.
gap, and then he pushed it like
Wait,
right
wait,
when he killed
wait.
him. Pushed it down.
Are you guys
Go ahead.
telling me
Jedi.
that John
Jedi, what's
Favreau
up?
was
Hold
so
on.
big that they couldn't cover him entirely in Beskar?
No, I'm saying that there's gaps. Anyways.
No,
Jedi, go
they
ahead.
had
What
to
do you
move.
got?
They have to have joints.
I'm just
Like,
joking.
Never mind. Never mind.
What were you gonna say? Anything, Jedi?
Well, I was, but God Almighty.
All right, go ahead.
Are these because it's easy to get these guys in red mixed up? And these are the special soldiers that Gideon requested during the
yes,
Council of
these are the
Shadows.
Praetorians he
Are
requested.
these the same shoulders? Are these, for those that don't know, are these the same guards or soldiers that were guarding? They're not the same ones that were guarding.
No, that's
Snoke,
the same
right?
ones, but the
Yes,
same,
they are.
the concept.
type.
is the
Same
first
type
concept.
of guys. Maybe not the
Same
same
type.
exact guys. but
Same
yeah,
type
Yeah.
of guys. Yeah, same type of guys.
That class. Yes.
The newer version of Imperial Guards. Yes,
Yeah, the Crimson Guards or whatever.
that's it.
Those guys never did anything. They just stood around. I thought they were like
Didn't
know,
someone
Yoda
say
slammed
that
him.
those
Buckingham
were the
Palace,
Knights
just
of
stand
Ren
there,
or
don't
something?
No, not the
Dom said they were, but they weren't.
Oh, okay.
What? Who said what?
Dom said the Knights of Ren's were going to show up. They didn't.
No, these are the guys that are guarding
Stop putting
Snoke.
things that I
not
say
Jedi.
that I said that. I said I know what I said about things. Not the Knights of Ren. I know Knights of Ren are going to show up. Come on,
Anyways, he's on his stomach. We don't see him moving, but he might not be dead. We'll
He's dead.
see.
he's dead.
We'll see. All right.
Yeah.
yeah, we already got
rip,
introduced to the
rip,
next pass.
Rip, Pez Vizsla, rip. Okay.
Dude, how much stuff are
I'm
they
glad
going to
he's dead.
destroy? They destroyed the.
All right, look.
Yeah.
Before
will
we
tell
move
Rat
on,
Didn't
Ragnar.
they just have Paz stuff coming out too? They just came out with new Paz figures and kill them all.
What does that mean? We got Cara Dune figures still coming out.
I know.
They're like-
Well, I'm just
They're
saying.
like 2 seasons behind on them.
all right,
marketing.
listen. This is what's going to happen. Din is going to get his mind wiped because they're going to try to find out where Luke is having his training. Because that's what Moff Gideon.
Why would you wipe his mind if you want to know where?
No,
something's
you
going?
find out once they drag his mind to finding out the information, he's going to be mind wiped. That is worse than dead.
But when has Moff Gideon ever cared where Luke's training academy is?
Because Luke is he can't succeed if Luke is still there. Luke destroyed the Empire. He knows how powerful Luke is.
He wants
Okay, so
nothing
why
to do with
wasn't
Luke. He
why
was
wasn't
still
Gideon
afraid of
searching for
Luke.
Luke in season 2 then?
No.
Because
let
now
Jedi
he's
go
planned-
at this. I want
And he
to-
just showed up.
in full
He happened to
force now.
show
Hold
up.
on, stop. Let Dom answer.
No,
Jedi asked
listen,
a
his
good question.
plans are in full force now for him to rule. Listen,
force.
he's not going. He
No
don't
full
want to
force.
resurrect the emperor. He wants to be the emperor. He doesn't want Thrawn to come back. He wants to rule everything. That's what he's doing.
But what does that have to do with finding Luke?
Because he'll know where Luke is. He can send the forces to go after Luke to kill him off. That he can start to rebuild
So
the
he wouldn't
galaxy.
want to kill
on
off
Empire.
the rest of the Empire, the council, and all that.
Listen,
That would be his
all these
target.
guys are
Not
talking
Luke.
about building things. Luke is a big part. A lot of information. Mando has a lot of information in his head, and Luke is one of them.
You know what's not good when you're a secret council? Trying to go after the one Jedi that is like working alongside. Like
When you have to request 3 whole Praetorian guards from other people, you don't have enough power to supposedly go up against the guy that destroyed the Empire.
That's why Moff Gideon made those clones. Those guys are clones.
He
That's
still
why-
needed the guards.
All right. He turned around. He says the best part of it, they all have me in it. That's what he says about all those guards. The best. So he used his DNA with Grogu's DNA. That's what he's doing. He's trying to make a force
Clone
sensitive.
himself.
Those are some little guards then.
No, it's the DNA.
Giancarlo's not the tallest
So
man
they're
in the
all
world.
green.
No, he's got the green.
I think they just kind of forget storylines as they go through this thing.
I think JJ's right.
Whoa.
I think after this one, it was a good episode, but this proved 100% that they forget all types of storyline. They definitely forgot the rule of fucking the Darksaber. They've 100% forgotten that rule because
They
it
didn't
doesn't
forget-
exist.
I know the Darksaber. Look, first of all, how did Moff Gideon know that Bo-Katan had the Darksaber?
there is a spy. We don't know who the spy
X-Rose,
is.
X-Rose, or
There is a
It's
spy.
literally called The Spies.
Spies.
The episode's called The
I
Spies.
know.
So,
That's what I'm
spoiler
trying to
alert,
say.
Spies.
You know who
It's either
one spy is. You know
it's
who
either
fake Dr.
it's
Aphra
either
girl
Axe
is.
Wolves or freaking Costa Reeves. One of those two. All those guys that were drifting, they were spies. Those freaking those Mandos are on the
The
planet.
dead dudes?
No, they
Or it
weren't
could
not
just be-
dead. They're gonna infiltrate the.
Hold
freaking
on. Dom, let Jedi go. Jedi go.
I mean, it could just be process of elimination. They had Mando on the ground, tied up. Hey, he doesn't have the sword. I guess that means maybe
No.
Khan has the
Maybe the
sword.
leader of
Mando.
the group
Okay.
does, yeah.
Or maybe the broad I can see holding it has the sword.
Hold on.
It's got a big hole in the door.
All
Or
comes to a head next week.
maybe, how about this one? He knew they were coming, so he was watching them. And that's how they got him to trap them inside the doors anyways, because you got to watch
Yeah.
somebody. So he's on his
The whole
TV
thing
screen
was
going,
clearly a trap.
oh, shit, there's Bo-Katan. She got the
No.
dark side."
Well, hey, listen. Well, let me tell you something. The 3 guys on the ship. Hey, I'll take you to the forge, the Great Forge. Let me take you there. Oh, let me put my sick guys on the ship. When the armor will take them back to the ship, meanwhile they're not sick, they're gonna infiltrate the ships. So that how do you think they infiltrate the thing? So Axe Wolves, I think, is the freaking goddamn. He's the spy.
He may be.
He may be, but the armor is the one who's volunteered
Yeah.
to take the sick.
I
there.
don't know. She's gonna take the sick. It's a red herring.
She 100% wants to run the Mandalorians.
She does.
She doesn't.
Yeah, but she's not the spy. There is a spy though. The episode was
She-
called
she-
Spies.
she
So,
does-
I
like,
know it's called the spy. Yeah.
there's gotta
You
be a
think,
spy. What would you call it?
hold
Spy.
on now.
It could be
Hold
both
on.
of them.
Wait, he just said something, so I want to get a clip on it. The armor, we will agree that the armor does 100% want to be in charge of the Mandalorians, correct?
I believe so.
Listen,
They sure want
Whether
you
a
to think
figurehead
that.
or behind the scenes, she wants to be
First of all-
directing.
Wait,
The whole
Seeker,
thing-
agreed?
look, the whole.
I guess I don't think she
to
wants to be
there.
the front person. I
JJ,
think she wants to
agreed?
be behind the scenes. Like
I
That's
think-
why she's slamming her hammer in the thing?
Well,
Tell
she's
everybody
the
for
one.
lunch.
The COVID. The whole fact is that she was part of Death Watch. She left Death Watch to make her own cult-like thing.
We don't know that.
Again,
Everything
be
felt.
careful with making definitive statements like that when it's still speculation.
I don't think it's speculation. I think
Jedi-
I think she was part of Death Watch. She was part of
Jedi,
Death Watch.
Well, that's
What's
what I'm
your-
saying.
what's your
It's
opinion
like-
on the
armor?
it's like you
The
can
whole
think
thing-
it,
the
but
whole-
it doesn't make
There
it.
was
Listen,
technically
it's too
Bo-Katan
much-
as part of Death
too
Watch
much,
at one point, so-
Coincidence this year with all the episodes. A lot of callbacks to the prequel series, the prequel trilogy. In the callback, you had the droids, the battle droids, in the episode with Jack Black and this and that. You
There's a stuff called Turkish tea, and they take it and they drink it, and there's grind after it, and they flip it over.
Was that what they
on
gave
the
Boba
cup.
Fett? And
They
Book of
flip
Boba
it. They
Fett?
flip the cup over on a saucer, and then the gypsies spin it around.
Hey,
And
do
then
you know that
afterwards-
Skinny Pete had a battle
Afterward,
droid?
hold
for a,
on, Dom. Hold on. They pick up the cup and they look at it, and everybody's going to have multiple children and long life. So it's all a coincidence all the time. Jedi, what do you think of the armor? Do you think she has nefarious plans? Do you think she's what? Give us your opinion on the armor, please.
I think they probably want you to think that anyway, but I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna kind of be in, I guess, in Pete's camp here. We don't know anything really. I mean, you can make jumps. I mean, what Dom is saying was she's Death Watch. Well, you could probably make that assumption based on what she said, but you don't know that. It was kind of, yeah. Just because she knows the Death Watch is no longer doesn't mean she was part of the Death Watch. Now you could assume that. I can see how you could connect those dots, but you don't know that.
Yeah. Whatever. All the moves she makes, it sure does seem like she wants to be in charge of Mandalorians.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's all I'm saying.
They want you to, at least whoever's writing it wants us to think that she wants to be.
Well, they really foreshadow everything in this, but it's all right. Okay.
Listen,
Also,
three
too,
things.
And
Boba
my
Fett,
writing
the
thing,
fleet-
Dom, I try to have your back, but
I know. Hey, listen, that's all right. I'm gonna get something right eventually. Boba Fett's gonna help the fleet when they get to the ship. He's gonna help. He's coming in.
Boba Fett.
Axe Wolves or Oscar Reeves is the spy, and Mando's mind is gonna get wiped. He's gonna forget who Grogu is, and that's worse than death. There you go. There's my theories, and I don't care if anybody says. And I'm not guaranteeing it. I'm just saying that's what I'm thinking.
Wayseeker.
I think we might see Boba Fett, Dom.
Why'd you
I
have to
think we
say
might.
that? I was ready to give you this.
Oh, okay.
I
I'm sorry.
think
I get so
I think
freaking hyped.
everybody
with
that
this
Den has helped, there's a realistic chance that they could come and try to save Den.
Saved
Well,
it.
R5.
Yeah, next episode.
Remember, R5 could send a message to Kelly Manga, what's the face, to get to Boba Fett, and Boba Fett can go. And
How
bring,
long's the next episode? Because I would not be
I don't
surprised.
think
More
it's
than
long.
39
38 minutes.
Oh. Hmm.
Same
Well-
length as the last season.
Yeah, but that's a lot. That's a short episode to have. The assemble
think
some
about
of
it.
the
Finishing this.
Avengers.
They had some
Huh?
good episodes. There were short episodes, a lot of action in the second season.
I have a
Nothing is
prediction.
getting resolved.
I have a prediction. It's going to be a cliffhanger.
Exactly. That's what
my prediction.
I'm thinking that
me
too.
and JJ were saying.
Go
Like,
ahead. Hey, listen, like Brandon Wayne of who plays Mando says it's going to be hard to get. You're going to wish that you didn't want another episode. It's going to tear your heart out. So we're going to see. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah,
I
you
want.
can say anything.
I want that moment.
What is it? What
They
moment do you
want to
want? I
build
lost
the
my.
suspense, though.
thinking
Don't
on it.
trust what they're saying.
I know. Listen,
What are they going to
everybody-
say? Yeah, everything is over. It's concluded. It's good.
Yeah, it's kind of
You don't
boring. The
want
finale is kind of sucky. Like, don't bother watching.
Nah, they're not going to say that.
I mean, by that
I think
regard,
it's
they
going to
could
be.
setting
It's
up
going to be a sad
Bo-Katan
ending.
to die, right?
Dom, you're telling me that the Mandalorian, the key person named after the show, is going to be dead.
I didn't
No,
say he was going to die.
Mind wiped. You said
he's
it
gonna
like
get
nine
mind
times.
Dom, Friday off camera, you told me he was going to die.
You know what? Yes, I said it died, but then I was
That
actually
was
really
Friday.
I was
Sunday.
actually thinking.
Thank you,
I was
Joe.
actually
That was
thinking-
Friday.
They
You're
can't-
right.
He
That was
said
Friday.
mine melted
I
before
was
the show, so that's dead too.
Look, I was thinking they couldn't kill him off. After I said that, I said that, and then I started thinking about Pershing. I'm like, you know what? They could mind wipe him to find that information, and then he could forget who Grogu is and everybody. But I tell you what, there could be a moment, a Luke Skywalker moment at the end of the episode that's going to shock everybody.
Please don't.
I'm with Joe. They're not going
please
to do
don't
it.
bring
but-
Luke back.
No.
Please.
I don't think they're going to leave us some cliffhanger that, in case you
No,
know,
they're going to resolve
Go
it.
to
learn.
this is
I
not.
mean, it's going to be a cliffhanger, but it's not
You're
going to
100% giving us a cliffhanger.
Den is going to be separate. I don't think that. And they're going to bring Den
Okay,
back in
so-
another show. They're not going to do
They
that.
go-
I hope
Listen,
they learned their lesson.
I hope the Mythosaur eats Moff Gideon.
So, okay, we may not get a cliffhanger, but I think we could. We're definitely going to get a what we can just now say a Bad Batch ending because we just saw it in Bad Batch.
I
It's
think
gonna
that's more likely.
It's not going. We're not going to get any finality or any
This-
sort of conclusion.
This
Yeah.
is the Dave way too, by the way. We're getting 2 good episodes with a non-conclusion ender, and you're getting a bunch of mid-level side quests throughout your whole rest of your season. This is what we can hope for. So this is what
I think season 3's ending is going to look a lot more like season 1 ending than season 2 ending.
I don't know about that.
It's going to end on a crazy note. That's going to make you want season 4.
I think the only way, honestly, in my mind, the only way you can get a definitive ending to season 3 is to end up with something crazy like Bo-Katan's death.
Bo-Katan's death. I was about to say that.
Or
What happens if Mando
Gideon.
kisses? What happens if Mando kisses Bo-Katan and says, "I want you to be my baby mama," and then all of a sudden she dies?
Jay,
Gets
couldn't
killed by
Gideon
Darth
give
Maul.
you that conclusion?
She gets
Couldn't
killed by
what? Give me
Darth
that?
Maul.
If Moff Gideon dies, couldn't that give you that same conclusion?
No, because Moff Gideon was supposed to be taken care of at the end of season 2, and he's back for some reason.
I get that, but that'd be just saying it would wrap things up to where like it wouldn't need a big cliffhanger.
Yeah, that would make me even more disappointed because that would make me think that then this season has been pointless. You've brought back a villain for no real reason.
Well, I think Gideon's gonna die.
I would like to see Gideon die because I like to see them actually move on from a character and like.
Well, they got
have
Thrawn coming, so
different-
Thrawn is the next big baddie. So you don't need Gideon, or you do, but
We don't have him yet, so
he's
I'd love
coming.
to see Gideon die. Gideon should have died at the end.
He
of
might,
or
because
season
that could be the foreshadowing. He's like, you guys keep saying Thrawn's not showing up. I don't care about Thrawn. That could be the foreshadowing of like, well, nobody cares about you because you're dead.
I do care about Thrawn.
Thrawn
I
probably shows up and pulls a Tarkin and is just like glass the planet, kill everyone. Like at the end of every Bad Batch season.
No, but let me ask you a question. You don't think there's going to be a holy shit moment at the end of Mando?
No.
No?
Well, again, like there were several things that could give you that. Like I said, Bo-Katan's death could give you a holy shit moment.
Oh, like that? Yeah, maybe. I mean, like, is any of this bit? But have we really gotten holy shit moments? I don't know.
Well, we did in season 2 when Luke came. Something like that.
Yeah, that was such a bad holy shit moment
Yeah,
that
I
they
didn't
kind of
like
retconned
that.
it.
Was finale?
They
go back and
retconned
correct
it.
that.
They retconned their whole moment.
They had
So
to
I
spend
don't know.
2 episodes of Boba Fett going back and fixing it.
Yeah, when I was like, that's not good, and everybody's like, yeah, it was great. I go, we'll see what happened. They retconned it and fixed it. Yeah,
All they need to show Boba Fett one time, and I'll be happy for the entire season.
I think Boba
It's a
will
new
come.
show.
I think you'll get it. I think I'm
I'm surprised we haven't got. I'll be honest with you. I'm surprised that we haven't gotten them yet. I mean, it doesn't make a difference. I'm just surprised they haven't dumped them into an episode just to dump them into an episode.
John
Well,
Favreau's
listen,
too busy.
you know, I
I
can see
think
him coming and
Ragnar
help
is going to
the
come
fleet
from
and help it.
be like, you killed my dad, and then kill Gideon.
and the scooter kids
That
are
would
with
be
him.
the worst. That would be the absolute worst thing that could happen, JJ.
No, they come with him. They come. No, how about the scooter kids? All of a sudden, Slave One lands, and then all the scooter kids come pulling out of their
flooding
scooter.
out of it.
Yeah,
Cop Van,
Another
RoboCop.
very slow
15 miles an
scooters.
hour.
Cop
Oh,
was here by
Cop
the time.
Van was supposed to be here too, wasn't he?
Yeah, where's Cop Van?
Or
That's what you said. I
Or
don't
you
know.
just
Let's do
That's
a
you.
justified sequel. That's
you
where
just
Cobb
think
Van
Din
is.
Djarin's dead, and then
Maybe
at the very
that's
end
your
we'll
big
show him
ending,
in
Dom. Maybe
Yeah.
Cobb comes in and saves everything. Saves the day.
Maybe when they were referring to the episode when you're gonna be heartbroken was when John's character died.
Well, how about this?
They did a good job of that, man. They really did a good job.
How about this? How
How's
about a
that
cool
again?
ending like this? Bo-Katan, like after everything's all said and done, Bo-Katan is talking to Mando. All of a sudden, she gets stabbed from behind. You turn around, the hood comes
I
off.
don't see
It's a
Bo-Katan
cool Darth Maul.
dying, though.
Well, now it's Darth Maul showing up.
Darth Maul.
Why not? No, you know,
Maul killer.
no, I'm
Maul
sorry,
killer.
Tom. It's a brainwashed Mando stabs her
Maul
with her
killer.
own darksaber, like when Marco said he goes in to kiss her, and he stabs her Kylo
Yeah.
Ren style.
I like Kylo
Yeah.
Ren style.
Yeah.
If that happens,
Darth
I'm burning it down.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen because it's just
It's
waiting.
not
For,
going to happen.
I've been way too positive on this whole season. I'm waiting for the shoe to fucking drop. It hasn't really dropped yet. They gave us Lizzo. That wasn't a big enough shoe. They gave us Jack Black's horrible, whatever the fuck that was. That's not big enough. Now, if that happens, yeah.
This
Maybe
episode
Ren
was
from the
good,
Knights of
so I have
Ren
hope
shows
for the
up.
next one
Yeah.
too. But I do think there will be a post-credit scene, and I have no idea what it is.
I'll tell you what it is. So we're gonna think Din Djarin's dead, and then the post-credit scene is gonna be him in a back to tank with a Thundercat or whatever modding him.
And it says coming to theaters soon, 2025.
No. Well, it's going to be a blue hand stroking
Well,
a
think about it.
little cat.
How long is it going
Lost
to take?
cat?
They said the end of the year they're going to start filming season 4, so we won't get freaking goddamn Mando until 2025 anyway.
We don't even know if they can film it with the strike.
But when is the strike coming?
The strike is like a month and a half from now.
Oh, okay,
Really?
so that's why the
You
end
don't know
of
what's
the
ever
year.
coming. I mean,
The
they
strike,
could settle it.
they'll resolve the strike before the end of the year.
Maybe.
They could have shot it already, for all you know.
But I think the end credit scene will be thrown.
Yeah, probably.
Stroking the cat like the bad guy in Inspector Gadget.
Is he going to
Oh,
have
I
one of those? Are they going to have him have one of those?
Why not?
Because it hasn't shown up yet in 6 novels.
They just need it just for this. They don't need to carry on with it after that.
Oh.
Well, they needed to talk. He goes,
But Pete, for those people questioning, Thrawn originally had this like lizard type thing that he could would damper force use, and that's what Pete's referencing.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
like a
it. I think
miniature
you guys should do
Nameless.
your book review, and I think I should go get to bed because I got to go to work tomorrow.
yeah.
But it was entertaining.
I hope that none of what you guys said happens at all, because that's not everything that you guys said about what you thought was going to happen sounds fucking horrible.
To review the actual
Watch.
episode, though,
You said
we all was good, right?
You don't
I only
think,
said cliffhanger. I didn't
Boba
really
Fett
give
coming
a
in
detailed
and
explanation.
friggin' Mando's getting his mind wiped and he forgets about everything?
Yeah, Dom, I think this sounds fucking horrible.
That's
Yeah, no
really
mind
bad. That's like erasing 3 seasons. You don't get your mind back.
Yeah, well, then
That's like JR got shot. Oh my god, it was
I
a
was
dream.
gonna say that's a Dallas
I don't know.
episode.
Well, they did have Luke come in and they had
Didn't
to
steps
retcon
out of the
that, so-
shower in the post-credit scene.
Right.
that didn't happen.
No,
Well,
how
yeah.
about
When we
the
see the
day he
Mythosaur.
rides the
Another
Mythosaur and
question I
Boba
have.
Fett rules Mandalore? That'd be my perfect ending.
Will we see
Because-
the Mythosaur?
Because what's his name? who's the director?
I
Funiano?
think we won't see the.
I don't know. Yeah, it seems like they've gone through a lot of their budget so far. I'm kind of.
I think they've also forgot
Well, listen,
a lot of
what's
the
his name?
plot lines they built into this thing somehow. I don't really know why.
Thanks,
It's
Mark.
gonna be Boba Fett on the Mythosaurs. Yeah.
Well, listen, what's his name? What's the director's name?
Rick Fukuyama, whatever.
Fukuyama? He
Fukuyama.
said that
James.
Boba Fett's resolution is going to be friggin'
Oh yeah, no,
Boba
we
Fett
talked about
and
this last week,
Mandalorian.
Don.
That's what I'm saying. That's what he said, and I'm hoping that his resolution does happen. He becomes part of Mandalore. He becomes part of the Mandalorian tribe. That he no longer.
No, he has a whole criminal underworld to
I was gonna say he's
before
gonna
we run,
abandon his
before we can
people
get to that.
on Tatooine.
Well, you know what? His father was a Mandalorian, so I guess he's going to go through his father's ways. Who
Was
knows?
he?
No, his father was.
Oh, his father was. Yeah, even
So
though.
the book of Boba Fett was just a waste of my time then.
Well, yeah.
This gave me a fanboy dream that they didn't even come out the toys I wanted anyway. So
Huh? What? Okay, good stock. I wasn't listening to any of that
All
last
right,
bit.
you
Good
guys have
pictures,
fun
thanks.
with this High
Thank you,
Republic
Pete.
novel.
All right, we're gonna review the.
Pete, have a go, bro.
I think my brain just got brain melted or whatever the fuck's gonna happen to Mando.
Marco, love you, man.
How did you?
Taking all the shit.
I don't even. I got something. It did sound. It sounded crazy earlier. I think you tailored it down. I liked it. It was a good shit. All right, guys.
And just to next week we'll be heavily on everything we see this week, and Ruben's coming on to talk about
Oh yeah, Ruben's
Mando. Yeah.
Oh,
It was-
just for record, Skinny
Quote by
Pete.
Jedi Johnson. This all 3 seasons were a waste of our time.
Do you know Skinny Pete had the had a battle droid
Go close.
for his hilt on his arm?
Are you
You know
talking
that?
about? Are you talking about Gideon?
No, the guy that's
The,
one of the drifters on
Mandalorian
the
is-
island. Skinny Pete, the guy who's Skinny Pete. I
Well,
call him Skinny
homeless
Pete.
man.
I don't know who Skinny Pete is,
I
man.
don't know. You
He
keep
was
bringing
on
up
the
Skinny
right-hand
Pete. I
side.
have no idea who you're talking about.
You watch Breaking Bad?
No.
He's the same
Skinny Pete was,
actor that played a role in Breaking Bad.
Dude, Breaking
Okay.
Bad.
Okay.
Yeah. What? There's a fucking 1,000 people in this episode. Who the fuck?
And like there's like a ton of people from Breaking Bad in this show, so it's not.
Well,
Like,
the skinny, the one that looked more homeless anyway. Not the black dude, not the other guy on the side.
Well-
It was the one.
Well, it looks
Okay.
like a death
So what-
stick addict.
Yeah, he looked like a crackhead.
What are we doing? So wait, what? All right. What were you saying about the guy? Who cares? Some
Well,
guy.
yeah,
What about some guy?
He had a battle droid helmet head on his arm as the Mandalorian sleeve.
Thanks, Jay. Is it though? I'm wondering, Jay. I appreciate it, but I'm not quite sure. All right. Next up, let's review a novel that Jedi said is almost as good as the maiden one. My brain just got fried. I can't do this, guys. What the fuck were we talking about there? I have no fucking clue. My head's like fucking Boba Fett's coming in with scooter people with a mind melt, and Bo-Katan's gonna get stabbed from Boba
Yeah,
Fett because
just
some
data dump
shit.
all that.
Like,
Ain't none of
what-
that happening, so data dump it.
what the fuck was that shit?
Wipe your own mind from that.
What the fuck? All right. So, Wayseeker and Jedi were really extremely excited, even though they hadn't finished off the novels. I did read a 390-page novel in a couple hours. It was good. They were fanboying over this without finishing it off. I think this is going to be extreme. Oh, now you had 30 minutes left, so now you change? Jedi?
Well, yeah, I still liked it. I still think it was really good. I will admit that I had to rush. I had to go like double speed to kind of get through it. And the battle scene, the big battle scene, which I'm sure Wayseeker will talk about, was it just kind of blurred a little bit together for me. But
Well, hold on, though. The whole book mainly was battle scenes. Like that, it was battle on top of battle on top of battle on top of
I'm
battle.
talking
On
about
top
the big one where there were like 3 or 4 different
The Night of Sorrows.
parts. Yeah.
Tonight is
I mean, I will tell you this: you didn't have to read any other books to set this one up because they took this book and they set it up from the beginning. So if you didn't really follow the last book, if you didn't follow anything else, and that's where I actually asked Wayseeker to shorten that down so we don't go over every person. But I'm willing to bet that he's going to bring up 80,000 people in here, and we're going to have an index of 60 because he doesn't fucking listen. So please make sure you send all that hate mail to Wayseeker. Wayseeker, is that what you did?
It's just get over yourself.
Okay.
There's 4 main storylines. That's the key.
There's
and
not. There's not. There's one main story.
4 main storylines.
There's sub story. You don't know what it means.
You read the book in 2 hours. I don't think you actually read the book. So there's 4 main storylines.
I did. You want me to tell you what the storylines was? There's one main storyline. It happens to be that the guy who's on the front, who is Alex. Alex has got to have his turn from bad guy to good guy. They have it there, and at the same time, they release the Nameless, and Mother gets away. That's it. That was the storyline. They had to get the main people from there. Yes, it was. And all this other sub stuff was just fodder that we were going to say in there, like these two.
I almost agree with Marco in that there was one storyline, but let's we'll let Wayseeker defend his.
So
he's just mad I read the book.
No, I don't care. I hope you read the book. I want you to read the book because it was a great book. It was my favorite High Republic.
It was good. It was good.
We've had.
It was very, whoever this writer is. She was very.
Who is the author? Let's start with that.
Lydia Kang. It's her first Star Wars book. It's amazing to me. She is she practices full time as a doctor. So like this is her secondary, fun thing that she does on the side.
So what is this junior novel? What novel is this? Because we usually see
adult novel, right?
This is adult.
Okay, cool.
Adult, yeah.
Because you could tell, like when she did her relationship breaks, like her emotional relationship breaks, they were very short. They were only like 2 pages. Which, as you know, if you've ever heard me say like a review before, like I hate when it's like, hey, I hated that. And then mainly between these two, they had a lot of relationship things, and then Alex and his mom had a couple. But that was like a 1 pager. It was really. Yeah, it was nice.
I keep saying let Wayseeker go, but then I'm going to jump in here too. There was some graphic, and a lot of times the graphic stuff is hard to catch in a novel. There were some pretty graphic descriptions in this.
Yeah. The one kid getting shot in the foot too. Yeah.
Well, the guy with the needle hands and what that would do.
Oh yeah, that was pretty crazy too.
Yeah,
I actually have a question about that later, but go ahead.
Sure. So the 4 main storylines to me all take place elsewhere and then converge at one time onto Dolna. And so we everything pretty much starts off world, and the groups then come to Dolna. So the first one we see is part of the war that we saw from Convergence. And so this is in Roa and Iram, and they have this whole big thing that starts out with 2 people from the Path of the Open Hand, which we know had been active in trying to influence these 2 planets in the war there, get sent to cause some sort of major event on the moon, which nobody has access to, which would then release, some sort of biochemical aspect, which was tied to.
I was reading this. I did not realize this was the character. I did not realize
that. This is Jedi. Yeah, and so all of it has to do with. After the Battle of Jeddah, the peace talks fail. They get this news that the peace talks have failed right when the Path of the Open Hand is trying to influence these 2 planets and really start the war up and put it on, steroids. And so they bring in these 2 players called Benoit and Goy, who
technically
being attacked by pirates to do this.
So there is a little thing with the Mother and Benoit before this where she's like, hey, listen, we're going to talk about Axel, who was on the cover, as we know, and that she's going to get him out of prison somehow or another. And then Benoit, who was a friend of his, is like, but also wants to be taking over for the Herald, was like, yo, listen, I just want to take over. I don't care. She's like, cool, I got this thing for you to separate these 2, pretty much foreshadowing what was going to happen later in the book. But
and Benoit was in Convergence as well. He was the one that interacted with Axel on a couple secret missions that Axel was doing. So not a new character. None of these characters, except for Goy, are new characters. That's the nice thing about this is there's very few new characters. We don't have to go over. But trying to help with the stabilization of these 2 planets was Char Roy and Padawan Inyakeen. So that's arc 1 to me, are those characters. Arc 2 are the 2 characters, the only 2 characters they get sent to Dalna to do spy work. The Jedi know that there's something going on Dalna.
They didn't call it
and
spy work. They called it
be-
investigation. But
They want to be a covert investigation that it wasn't really sanctioned by the Republic, but the Republic went along with it.
Yeah.
And so they send Creighton's son and Ada to do some investigation. So a good part of the opening book is, them infiltrating the compound there on Dalna that the Path has, and what they see and what they do. They interact with a force sensitive, person from the Path of the Open Hand. That the Path of the Open Hand family finds is force sensitive, has been influencing thing, and from there they encounter the Leveler, and they realize that this is the same type of creature. I don't actually think it's the same creature. I don't think it is the same Leveler, because
so in the book, they actually mentioned that there was more than one. There's a portion where they say the levelers, and they said there are multiple. They have to be fed, so there's actually multiple ones.
Yeah.
Once again, I still think these are all little side stories. Like they did, like in the actual reading of the book, these two, their side story was only a chapter long.
But they take up about. I looked at it. Their story takes up about 100 pages. Theirs is actually the longest story.
There's no way it does.
It does. It's longer than Gella's story.
Did you?
It's 100 pages.
Go back and read
And the end of it is all about Creighton and Yoda. So it's fine.
Yeah, Creighton. Yeah, okay.
Creighton's a big character, and Creighton's fear and his doubt. We can talk about into that. All of the issues.
I think it's all spoilers. 2 weeks out.
But yeah. So the third one is Gella and Axel, which they had their long-term relationship and convergence, which we saw. Another master, which we don't have a picture of, Orin. Gella and Orin go and try to get information about the Path of the Open Hand from Axel, who's in prison. While there, Axel, is faking being sick because this is some trait that he had that he picked up when he was a kid, so he could get out of doing all the stuff his mom wanted to do. I thought this was the weakest story of the four.
Alex he's literally the center of all the stories. It all revolves around him.
Yeah, I disagree, but that's okay. And while they're there, Benoit from the Path of the Open Hand breaks them out, and they then go to Jeddah, and on their way to Jeddah, they go to Dalna. This was, to me, the third story. And then the fourth story, and also part of the story later on, will be Chancellor Greylark and how Axel calls into Greylark and how she becomes a former chancellor. So we can get into that. The fourth storyline was the one I actually thought was pretty cool, but it was the shortest of them.
I thought Yaddle was cool in this. Yeah, Yaddle was really good.
Yaddle was good, and so Yaddle wasn't actually sent to Dalna, but she got some miscommunications and didn't follow.
She did that on purpose. She didn't get miscommunications. She did that on purpose.
She did that on purpose. Like, we're going to Dalna, and so she takes her, I don't know, her little kid initiate. This is not the picture of him, but this is the picture.
She did this. She goes, "It's not working. It isn't. She did that. Like they literally did that in the book. It's kind of funny. Dude.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. She takes her initiate her little kid Sippa Tarko with her. Who's just a bundle of energy. I really like Sippa. What?
I was hoping I was hoping maybe you'd find a picture of Sippa because I want to know what she looks like.
I want to know what Sippa looks like too. She's great. She was one of my. She wrote some humor in a book with full of war.
Sippa is not. I mean, Sippa is not Yaddle's Padawan. It's just no one else can handle this little shit except.
Yeah. She's not a Padawan yet. She's just a ball of energy that is annoying as can be.
Yaddle almost says at one point in the book, pretty much, I'm putting you in this battle because nobody's supposed to be here, but if you die, then like fuck it, like you just didn't make it. Like bad by fire. She kind of hits that. Like Yaddle actually has a great sense of humor throughout they really write Yaddle with a really great sense of humor and a great focus too.
And she's so smart, wise in this book. She's the one that kind of stabilizes things again and again when the other Jedi are having issues and are threatened by the Nameless. She doesn't ever panic, even when she knows what's out there, which I think is really fascinating. And then they had 2 guards with them that was sent by the Republic, Lou and Priv. One of them dies. I didn't put which one dies. One of them barely survived.
This is what I have a question about because I read the comic too. I have a question is like, the comic, they actually see the Jedi see the Nameless kill a Jedi, right? But like, there's already people who've been back from that after the battle. So I'd assume this book takes place after that, correct? But then, how did the Jedi not know about the? That was the only loophole where I was like,
did the Jedi see it though? I don't think. I thought.
Yeah, they did in the comic book. No, they see her. They see Tiger Cat getting eaten. Yeah, they're like.
I didn't think they saw Tiger Cat. I thought Tiger Cat was off by itself. And
well, one of the things, and I was wondering that too. I think maybe we're talking about the same thing. But one of the things it touches on in here is how obviously how communication throughout the galaxy is very
because of the buoys.
Is not good, and even as good as they can get it, there's sabotage of these communication buoys going on. So I don't know how well their communication is about the effects.
Well, I think that changes later on, right? They use like don't they use like stations and ships later on? So this might just be an exploring thing with the buoys. I don't know. I was thinking the same thing, Jedi. Like, oh shit, you could just kill a buoy and then like everything shuts down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you can apparently you can manipulate signals going through.
That too. Yeah, that too. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Because of both the like getting off the planet one and yeah.
So these are the four storylines, all of which are different, but all of which converge onto Dolna for different reasons. One of which is because they realize that the Path of the Open Hand is doing some bioterrorism and influencing this war, and so they send, their two the prince and the princess, to kind of say, hey, did you do this? We heard this. Was this a rogue faction? Was it not? They get there.
Oh, the prince snuck on to the thing.
Well, the prince did sneak on, but they sent these people.
The whole part about that group was because it was intentionally did so that they wouldn't do what they eventually did, which was go there with their entire armies together.
Right.
So they tried to start a war over there.
And I really liked the character development of Enya Keen in this book. And I liked how she gives up her crystal and like tries to broker peace and tries everything that she can. So there was some good stuff in there with Enya was one of my.
By the way, what's the name of that little
PT,
not Padawan, but youngling?
Yeah.
Sippa.
CEP.
Extremely.
CYPPA.
I don't know if you mentioned it or not. She's extremely powerful.
Yeah.
Extremely.
She starts flipping people up in the air.
Yeah, she just levitate people.
Toss people around like rats.
And battle droids. Not just battle droids. Yeah, but yeah. Yeah, she does. She's kind of.
So, like I said, they get there because they're sent by investigation. They get there because they're following Axel, and Gela wants her lightsabers back and all of that. And then they get there because Yaddle fakes that she can't hear anything.
Yaddle just wants to get that kid.
So they all get there separately, and there's a lot of other Jedi who also get there separately.
Turn that kid over to Yoda.
We don't get to hear the stories about all the other people that get there, but we do hear like there are people in the tunnels, there's people here. They while they're fighting, they redubbed with other people. So
one of them got called. One of them got the shortwave, or a group of them got the shortwave transition, and another one was they sent out the Wayfinders to go. They got a group in there too. I mean, it did amass a bunch of.
Yeah,
I thought there was going to be more Jedi that died. By the way.
Well, there was. They said that like 100 Jedi died.
They were dying right and left. Maybe not.
I thought it was going to be like every Jedi. I thought it was going to be like. Thousands upon thousands. I mean, 100 Jedi in the High Republic. That's kind of like a tip in the bucket, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah. And so ultimately, really what the story was about was the mother was trying to manipulate all these Jedi to come. She wanted as many Jedi and as many Republic as possible to come to Dolna for this big war that she had been preparing for. She wanted to use Axel's relationship with his mother, to bring the Chancellor there, and then ultimately kidnap them both, and make the Jedi seem bad, make everybody seem bad. I kind of didn't understand how.
Okay, so this is why I think this is why I think Axel was the key of the whole thing. As I was saying, you get Axel there. The mom's the Chancellor. She says in the book like, hey, then we can use your mom to legitimize the hand. And at the same time, they're going to use it as when she's there to also film all the old people that she had up top being killed off between the battle that was going on there and all the children. And woe is me. And the hand was going to be the savior. But they had the backup ship where they started flowing everybody away. Originally, she wasn't going to do that. But when it started to go to ham, they decided to evac.
and that was the original plan. But when the chancellor said, "I'm not the chancellor anymore," whoop,
Everything
plan
went
to
out,
shit.
and that was really cool too.
So yeah, that's where I kind of and I mean I kept going because I wanted to get through, but I kind of got a little confused because yeah, as soon as the chancellor relinquished her position, the mother was like super pissed because it's like really threw a wrench in her plan. And then it's like I don't remember hearing anything really about the mother after that.
Oh no, she evac. She was she
just took off. Okay.
Yeah, they had said that they could smell her perfume and something about the Axel said that you could do that. And then afterwards they had said like all the what do they call it? I can't remember what exactly the word they used, but it was pretty much all the sophisticated people or all the leader councils were evacing.
The elders.
Yeah, the elders were evacing. So like she left. They said that she had already been gone. So like she was gone. And so the rest of them started to go too, which they were then just sacrificing and trying to kill off. And it inferred, that's when you get the part in the book where it says the Nameless still needed to feed, because Benoit said it or something to that effect.
Yeah.
And that's when it seemed like there was a plural.
There were a lot of Nameless out there that we saw. Yeah.
Well, also the difference in sizes when they were describing them.
Then they grew so fast. It was kind of, they.
Well, I think so. That was it. I think some of them grew fast, but I think what they were saying, what they were using that also too, is there were so many of them. So you'd see some that were bigger, some that were smaller, and they were just whatever. Anyways, yep. Here we go, Anteater.
We had other characters. I put the Anteater in there because this was another character that showed up a couple times within the tunnels. We didn't hear much about it, but it was, a callback. Yoda plays a significant portion. You can definitely see that he is the one that's in charge of the council. He's the one that relates to the Republic. He's the one that comes in and makes the decisions on behalf of the future of the Jedi. There's some questionable aspects of Yoda to me. We can get into that with some of my questions. Path of the Open Hand in the book also becomes the Path of the Closed Fist. You do see the mother. You see a lot of elderly people who they set up to die. You see tons and tons and tons of, peasant uprising people that just take whatever weapon they can and try to kill Jedi and are willing to follow it. And you see lots and lots of Nameless levelers, what they call them. Kind of use that term interchangeably at times in this book. So that was fascinating. And the one thing that I didn't quite understand is the mother didn't need the rod to control any of the other ones because she didn't have the rod. So
but they were out. I think they were just like out there doing.
But there was one that was her pet. That's like hanging around her.
Yeah, the Great Leveler. Though, yeah, there was.
Well, it wasn't the Great Leveler because Great Leveler is still on Jeddah with the Herald.
See, I think that's where they're screwed. I think that was an earlier time, and it's not anymore. I think they because a couple of people, including Benoit, had come back from there because he had the news.
But the Herald and Marta and Yana haven't, and they're not in the book. So I don't.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't know. Yeah,
I don't think that was kind of levelers in this book. I think it's a different leveler.
That's why I was kind of asking, what time it was, because it didn't. The only problem I had with this book was it did not make clear, because they had said obviously Benoit, or Benoit or whatever, he had come back from there, but it was interesting that some of the people had come back from that time period after they found the rod, which was. But the Herald had not yet. But the Herald was also then at that point a backstabber too, and they were going to get rid of him. So, go ahead. Sorry, Jenna.
Well, there was the one part where I think it was Benoit. Benoit was talking to the mother. The mother was still very upset with the Herald, and when Benoit saying, "Well, he's doing it for you," or blah blah blah, and she's like, "Well, this didn't get approved by me. It wasn't, I didn't sanction this or whatever." So she's still she's pissed at.
No,
whether or not he's doing it for her or not, I don't know. But
he said Benoit said he's doing it for the Path of the Open Hand, was what he said, not for her.
And the mother said, "No, it doesn't matter. He needs to be doing. Yeah, he doesn't.
It's got to go through me. It's not about the path." Yeah. And I think that's also why the name changes to the Closed Fist. It's
I thought the Closed Fist was just a subset that Benoit was trying to be in charge of. But whatever.
I don't think so. I think the mother was.
Because I think the mother's still part of the path with all the people that left.
I thought that too. I thought Benoit, the group that helped them with the thing on
Jedi and killing people.
Jeddah, that I thought that Benoit was trying to take that little group, the brothers of whatever they were, and was forming up the path of the closed fist with those people.
Yeah,
So
because
I-
then they started kneeling down.
I thought it was they had some central meeting. This is where Ada and Creighton were going around and all that. Everybody was brought into this meeting with the mother and Benoit and all of them. And at that time, they changed their name from the path of the closed fist.
There's a part where he said, "I talked to the mother," and he started bringing people in.
Yeah,
The
but that
mother
was
didn't show
later.
up.
That was after.
Yeah, that's what I thought they were going. It doesn't matter who.
Yeah.
That's a.
Yeah, it was
keep
that
going.
one part confused.
Yeah.
But I think that will be a big part of.
We'll
what's
see.
coming
Yeah,
forward.
yeah. It did go from open hand, closed fist, which is like.
Yep. So this is what we got about the Night of Sorrows, which is the big part of the action of this book. This is from what we got from Phase 1 from Mission to Disaster, which took place on Dalna with Honesty and Vernestra and all of them. So Dalnans have a long memory, and many still blame the Jedi for the Night of Sorrow. What was that? Vernestra says, we aren't supposed to talk about it. It's bad to speak of the dead when it's dark out. It was a battle that happened long ago. The Republic and the Jedi answered a call for help when Dalna was newly settled. There was some confusion when they arrived. Things went badly, and a lot of people died, which is one way of telling it, but that's not the story we got here, which is really fascinating to actually get the story, which how everybody was hiding what happened in the story. The Jedi were hiding it. The Path was hiding it. Dalna was hiding it. What really happened is just this massive massacre of everybody dies. The Jedi die. The Dalnans die. The Path of the open hand or closed fist die. And yeah, things.
That isn't necessarily untrue. The Dalin went to go help, and then all of a sudden the droid army and a bunch of other people came. I mean, that statement from left isn't actually true, incorrect. But anyways, all right. Cool. That's
Wait,
cool.
you did say Jedi?
I was going to ask because I know there was some discussion about it in the pre-show. Are you going to have your death slides, your requiem, or whatever they call it, remembrance?
Oh yeah.
In remembrance.
There's a lot.
Okay.
Here's
there you go.
Here's the notable ones that die.
Oh, you didn't give all 50,000.
Yeah, your favorite Jedi hit the dust. We had the picture of Jedi as this character.
Did I? They kept screwing this guy's name up. I loved it. I was like that guy. They're calling him like I would call him. Like, hey, Darting, Dagon.
Yeah.
For those that didn't read the book, the first guy's name, some people were calling out to him and they were screwing his name up all the time. He's like, yeah, dude, everybody screws my name up, which was kind of funny.
This was the guy in the. I know you guys read it and didn't listen to the audio, but this was one of this character had a heavy Irish accent. I mean, it almost sounded like a leprechaun in the audio. So yeah, which it bothered me at first, but I kind of got used to it.
I liked him. I thought it was good. And I thought it was good.
I mean, he was a stabilizing person. His faith never goes anywhere. He goes until the very end. A very faithful, a very good Jedi.
Isn't he the one that would like say dirty stuff, kind of out of place?
He told jokes like you, Jedi. He told a man jokes a lot.
Yeah, off color jokes.
Yeah, totally.
So but there's something interesting about him and about a lightsaber later on that I think it's Force ghosts. So we'll save it till later, but very interesting.
Bring that to your and then you got Ada died and Orin, who was the Jedi Master, and we had another Jedi named Palm Gornay who dies earlier in there. Benoit, the one that wants to be the Herald, he ends up dying.
He died of his own poison, right? I was kind of.
No, did he die of his own poison or did he get washed under the drowned?
Oh, I thought because I forget what I was doing when I was listening to this, but I got distracted, and then he died, but I was like, I don't have time to go back and re-listen to this.
Alex punched him in the face.
I thought somehow he got scratched by his own.
He died of his poison. Yes.
Was it after Alex punched him? Alex punches him in the face twice. He falls back.
He falls into his hand.
He falls into his hand in the water and then goes under.
No, he falls into his hand trying to catch himself or something. And the poison goes in there, and then he drowns. And they said, "Don't touch his body because it's still poisonous."
Yeah, he said it's poisonous. Yeah, right. There's poison all over. Yeah.
And for those we were talking about earlier, some of the more gruesome graphic descriptions, his poison, once it gets into you, it like blisters you up and does some really nasty.
Well, that happened to Orin, right? Like he got him on the leg, and then
yeah,
that's what killed him.
Yep. Yeah. So
Oh, and a little kid gets shot in the foot. That too happened in this book. Yeah.
Yeah,
And they beat people's heads in. They literally are like, kill the Jedi, beat them in, bludgeon them to death. A lot of bludgeonings.
So I had some questions here. I can cover some of the plot stuff. I still think there's 4 storylines. Did you have a favorite? Did you have a least favorite?
So I like the Euron and Aemon part, but it was foreshadowing. You knew that they were going to come. I mean, especially towards the last, I'd say the last quarter of the book, you knew that they were going to team up and come down there and do what they were going to do. I liked the Oren joke fest, and I did like how Jedi said, I know it's fucked up, but the Benoit character of poisoning people, especially how they were like tapping around and he found like the poison on the outside of their ship, which was kind of cool. I thought that was interesting. I mean, overall, it was good. They did a great. The author did a great job of not getting you lost during the fight. She would easily transition to parts of the battlefield, and you didn't get lost except for one part where I couldn't tell who was at the ship, the Yaddle ship guarding it. Besides that, it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Jedi, do you have a favorite part or storyline?
I guess my favorite storyline, stick with the question. I guess it would have been the Gela Axel storyline. It was the one that I think I followed the easiest. Again, it's not always easy to give an audio recording 100% of your attention, but I think that one was the easiest to follow. But yeah, I mean, I liked them all. They were.
I will say this: I liked the Yaddle portions a lot too, but the Yoda bit at the end and Yaddle bit I really like. So
I should also say, I mean, and this is what Wasteseeker was talking about when he talks about there was more than just one storyline, because Benoit was also part of the Axel storyline too. So I mean, it kind of intertwined, or it was interwoven into his storyline because they go way back to childhood apparently. So
yeah, to me, I think the Gela was the one I didn't like. How much time they spent on, the whole, should I forgive him? Should I not forgive him? Is he playing me? Is he not playing me? Oren, I need you to help me out here. And then like Oren gets tricked by him like 2 pages later. That part.
My least favorite.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say my least favorite storyline, I guess, if it's even a storyline, was the prince and princess, the marriage that was supposed to fix everything, the whole who's the boss of who dynamic that was going on in there. I kind of got a little tired of that. But
I actually will say this about that. I think in other books, if this was an Ireland book, that would have been 65 pages. Since it wasn't, it was contained in a maximum spread across time of 10 pages. Didn't have a problem with it. I mean, I thought it was, but once again, I thought that's
terrible, but I think it's probably my least favorite part.
I would say that was the most foreshadowing of what was going to. At one point, I was just like, okay, have them come down to the planet and start attacking it and helping them out. Like, we don't need this back and forth so much. We don't need to stop the action to do this again. We could just let's just go here, right? Like, the ship's not falling apart. I get it. They're out there in space floating around, whatever. But I mean, once again, I think Alex was the reason, he was the centerpiece of the storyline to get everybody there. He had to link to those two because of the planet and poisoning. He had to link to Benoit. He had to link to the mother. He had to link to his mother. He had to link, he had to link to a lot of things. I would agree with what you're saying, Wayseeker, the back and forth sometimes of like, I don't like him, but I need to get there. And I want my lightsaber thing back was like, everybody gets up to their lightsaber and then everybody wants it back. And that seemed repetitive if it was either the crystal or that. But
you can't have my lightsaber, but you can have the crystal.
Yeah,
that too. I agree.
I
love the book.
Very small misses, though.
That doesn't mean there weren't things that I didn't like more than the things.
Yeah, agreed.
I didn't like.
Good stuff, just very small misses there, which is fine.
Absolutely agree.
And the fact that radishes are now part of Star Wars is also bullshit. I hate when they bring that, like, they have to add one real life thing into it. Who gives a shit about radishes? Like, nobody cares.
I didn't care that about radishes. You cared about that one.
Well, it's like one time there was somebody who brought knitting in, and she was so proud that she brought knitting into the stuff. And ever since that, I've always been like, why are we doing this? Like, who gives a shit? All right, go ahead. Sorry on your question here.
No. Mother is most definitely Force sensitive, right?
Yeah. So I was going to ask this earlier, so I'm glad you put this in there because this is actually a good place to ask. Because there was some mention whenever Benoit saw the mother, he hadn't seen her for a while, and he talks about how she looks different, maybe she looks older, more weathered, blah blah blah. That's an effect of the leveler on her, right, or whatever.
I think so.
I
But
think
he
so.
was too, which is interesting.
And he felt it, right? He had to leave the room.
Yeah.
He was force sensitive too.
He was force sensitive too, which which I really did appreciate because I mean, so many cults are based off of people who are one
Hate
thing
their
and
own
are
type,
so
yeah.
repulsed by it that they distance
So one
themselves.
thing we
and hate it.
learned was because Benoit was force sensitive, he was able to handle a lightsaber fairly well. He got his ass handed to him pretty quickly when he actually faced off with the Jedi, but he could handle a lightsaber. So that tells me that Din Djarin has no midichlorian at all. He just stupid force. He ain't got nothing.
nothing. He got nothing. No.
He's got
He's
-5
zero.
Mandalorian clout. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they brought up her aging a couple times now, and how much she has aged in the last couple months or year or whatever.
But she also, do you think that's why she had the feeling too? Like I think that's why when she had the egg or the ring or whatever, she felt. I mean, I think that's part of it. Like, I think it's because I think we all agree they've been foreshadowing that.
Yep, and they've been doing that for a while, and I think it was even stronger here. So some of the notable omissions from this book were the Rose. Marta and Yenna were not in it at all. What's Marta gonna do when she hears about this? When she hears about the Night of Sorrows? When she hears about the Path of the Closed Fist? Like,
Well, that's my point. She's not going to hear about the closed fist.
I think she will.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she's not going to hear about it because why would she hear about it?
Because Dalna was her home.
Yeah, but she's not there, so she's not going to hear about it. Because the people that left, it's the story they tell, not the people who are dead. And the story they're going to tell is the same old story. The Jedi came down there with the Republic, and all these people started fighting, and they accused us because they wanted to wipe us out, and blah, 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 blah. You know how cults work, Wayseeker?
I think this is going to be the straw that takes Marta against the mother. This is what I think is going to happen coming up here. Marta is a true believer. All that she cares about is the path of the other hand. She trusts the mother, she loves the mother, but she wants to spread the doctrine of the path of the open hand. If she hears anything about anything else that happens, she will separate herself from the mother, and I think that's what's going to happen coming forward.
So I haven't. Okay, so the Great Leveler has to end up in the ice, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Rose know where it is, and the
Correct.
Rose know where the rod is. So at some point, the rod has to affect with the Great Leveler and get into the ice, correct? So
I don't know about that, but we'll figure out. They might be separate places.
Okay. All right.
But
I don't
I
wanna
do
get
think
too deep.
Marta. I think. What are you gonna say, Jedi?
No, I didn't really give a whole lot of thought to where were Marta and Yana. I mean, maybe I mean, it's good that you brought that up. I didn't even, to be honest, I didn't even notice. But your next question is one thing I wanted to ask, and I'm probably way off base with this. But at the end, obviously, Yoda and Creighton were talking about how they both had knowledge of this leveler creature, yada, yada, yada. Do you think that we're going to see a Yoda Creighton team up and they're going to be the ones that actually put this thing on ice and get rid of it eventually?
They're going to be Tango and Cash of the...
Yeah, until Marshawn finds it years later or whatever. Are they going to be the ones that actually are the ultimate heroes against the leveler, at least temporarily? You think? I don't know. That's what I thought when I kind of read that last little. And then your next question too, but I'll wait till we get there.
So Creighton is, I mean, he is terrified, right? And this is what's so fascinating.
He's gonna die.
He is afraid. At one time in the battle, he can't go on, and Yaddle's been like, snap out of it.
Maybe not Creighton, but Yoda. Then is Yoda going to be the ultimate?
Yeah, maybe, but Creighton's Yaddle's like, snap out of it. Get over it. We got a battle to fight. I get it. And Creighton's like, I can't. We're gonna lose. All hope is lost. He's like,
Do you guys? I see a missing name there. You don't think Yaddle knows about it?
Yaddle does know about it, but she's not making.
And she's been keeping it quiet too.
Well, she certainly knows about it now.
She knows
Yeah.
something about it, but she doesn't know as much as Creighton does. 'Cause
I
Creighton
don't know.
saw it, or whatever
I
it is.
no, because she could call. There's a part in the book. It was only like 3 lines where she talks about the feeling coming onto her, and that she has to stop, focus, and calm herself down to use the full force. Like there's a way that she explained how you could use the force to flush yourself back through, so that the nameless could take her over. It's in the book, but like
Yeah.
that's where I feel that she knows about this already. I don't think Yoda's the only person that knows about this, and Son. I think there's a couple people who at least know of the lore of it, and now they don't want to freak everybody out, which is
They're
probably
acting out of fear. Like both Yoda and Creighton are acting out of fear. And so at the end of the book, they said, we're going to take this out of the temple. We're not going to have any, we're going to erase history. And this is how we get to like the point that nobody knows about 158 years later is Yoda and Creighton try their best, at least, to stop people from the future to know about these creatures. But what does it mean that Yoda and Creighton are acting deeply out of fear, which, you know, Yoda's always talks about fear leads to the dark side. It's on the path, but I don't know. That to me was really fascinating to think about Yoda's development.
At first, I kind of felt that way, but then I thought, like, would you want, like, the Jedi knowledge for all this stuff? It is kind of open. Like, they have areas eventually where they try to this isn't fucking Harry Potter where you got to get like the 16 keys to get into the super secret stuff that is all the bad widgets. You know what I mean? Like a Padawan can go into the library pretty much and pick up a book. So like Yoda saying, we don't know enough about this. There's still some rumors. I need to figure it out first. That's kind of how I saw it. And yeah, Creighton's son's going to die. So like, what the fuck ever to him. But no, I don't think it's a horrible decision.
I think
the general doesn't tell all the fucking little peon ant soldiers what the fuck's going to happen. If they don't have the answers, Yoda doesn't have the answer. Yaddle knows. I bet you there's a lot of people in the council. You're going to find out. I bet you Sutton was down in there because he knew about it. I bet you a lot of council members know about it. I was not under the influence that Yoda was the only person who knew about this. It sure did seem like more people did.
But by phase 1, we're in phase 2. By phase 1,
Can I just ask you a question? Does this mean that Wayseeker hates Jedi, especially Grandmasters and Masters?
What?
You hate Jedi, Masters, and Grandmasters?
I love Jedi. I think Yoda's a great Jedi. I think Yoda is a horrible Grandmaster.
We'll see.
I think convince me that he's not. So like we see it in general. If Yoda had a clue on what was happening with his Jedi, he would have known, like, oh yeah, Kevmo and all these things happened like 6 months ago. Jedi died on Dawn. He has nobody has any record of them, even after another Jedi comes in and says, I recovered his body and I found his thing and it was covered in ash, and they're like, oh yeah, we no relation to anything to Dawn. In the comic, Yoda goes after the Force, which is what Yoda does. Yoda follows the Force. He's not an administrator. He has no idea what's going on with the people below him. And I feel like his inability to know what's happening with regular Jedi, even if there are 10,000 or whatever, gets him into a whole lots of trouble.
Maybe when he's going out, he's starting to figure, because it said, do not put this in here. So I was under the assumption that it has never been in there before. Therefore, he had to have been somehow trying to figure out. So maybe that's where he was when he was gone, was to try to figure out what's going on and found something about it.
Which 150 years later, we know he goes off and, you know, he disappears in phase 1 for all the time to go figure out who these people were. He had 150 years to figure it out. Why does he wait till phase 1?
He's running. There's about 50,000 Jedi he's got to be in charge of right now, buddy. You think running all these Jedi is fucking easy?
I don't know. I worry. I think he's a great Jedi. Don't get me wrong.
You got Seeper or whatever her name is. You go over there throwing fucking bodies of people everywhere. Fucking throwing bodies everywhere.
Circles around him in this book about how wise she is and how she can handle things and decision making.
She sure shit seemed to. She almost blew up on that little kid a couple times. And
I would too.
She sure shit seemed to know about it too. I think you just hate Yoda, buddy.
I just don't think Yoda's a good Grandmaster leading the Jedi.
I don't know if it's the best. I think the one where you meet the Blade and everybody else. I thought that's still probably one of the best.
So there was one scene, unless I'm just making it up in my head, where Yaddle did get emotional, or at least if you want to say that, if you want to at that level. Whenever she thought Sipa or whatever was in danger, she got shot or whatever. Yaddle did get emotional then, right?
She
I
like
remember.
destroyed those people. Yeah, it was pretty.
Oh yeah.
That was a pretty cool scene.
One other thing I also noticed, and I don't know if it has anything to do with Yoda being a good or bad Grandmaster, but one of the things I noticed, and this is probably just Jedi thinking, which is like stupid, but it's tucked in there towards the end where, you know, the Jedi Council was patting the Republic on the back. Couldn't have done it without you. And the Republic's like, no, we couldn't have done it without you. Good job. No, you're the greatest. No, you're the greatest. And that just kind of made me like, is that why the, you know, 500, however many years later during the Republic, you know, the Palpatine, why the Jedi Council just so like seemingly stupidly followed the Republic on these things instead of like, wait a minute, that you should have really, you know, thought about this, that, or they just seem like, is this like the genesis of this relationship where Jedi are just going to follow the Republic no matter what kind of stupid shit?
I think so. I think this is the moment that happens. Yes.
All right. So this is the question that I have. Gray Eye, or whatever we're going to call him, the guy with the bad Irish accent. Do you recall when he passed away and the Padawan was talking, and she inferred that it was that he made an imprint on her, almost like a vision, and then also number two, when what's her name had the secondary lightsaber and never gave it up, that Jedi Master also made an impression, like an impression on her. Like, that's Force ghosting. So, like, Force ghosts are technically just.
Hey, I gotta bring something up. I know you don't have the bell, but I think this is pretty funny.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. Yeah, I already showed it. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Oh, you showed it already. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's all right. You got it. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Good.
Well, you're good.
It's good.
But did you guys catch that? Like, it really did seem like they were kind of passing off Force ghosts as like it's just an imprinting of somebody that you ran into before. Go back.
I didn't. But they specifically said nobody can communicate from the other side, and that was one of the lines that one of them said too. So
yeah,
it definitely I did pick
kind
up
of
on
shit
really
on Force coding, but it was like something about imprinting. Yeah, like that was weird. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I just don't think Yoda's an administrator. Like, I just don't think that's who he is.
Ooh, they're booing you, man.
That's fine. They can boo me all they want. I don't think he's a administrator. I think he's probably the greatest Jedi that they had. He was wise. He's just not an administrator.
I'll tell you something else. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were. I was going to say something else completely off the.
All right, hold on now. We got to do it. We've gone off the rails to do this. Wow, that's pretty cool to do this specifically for this.
You gonna boo me?
No, we're gonna ring the bell. Yes, and then after that, we 100% are gonna come back and give you the.
Move this man.
The only would have been better is if Wayseeker would have said Yoda isn't running a Burger King.
Yeah, that would be funny. Yeah, are they called Force Spirits or Force Ghosts? Yeah, whatever it is, they kind of just threw that out. Like, there is no more. Yeah, there's no more. So that was interesting because they got rid of Force Spirits and Force Ghosts. Now it's just Force whatever.
After seeing what I deem as the relationship that formed between the relationship that kind of formed between Yaddle and Sipa, I almost in my head like, man, it would have been cool if, based on now what we know about Dooku killing Yaddle, it would have been so cool if Sipa would have seeked revenge on Dooku instead of having Anakin do the scissors.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Anyway. I was kind of like, man, it really does suck what they did now with Yaddle in that short, because like Yaddle seems like she seems really cool, and definitely that seems out of character with the Dooku thing, and it seems like, wow, they just wanted to throw a fucking character in there, so he put a 1-part story on it, and it kind of sucks. So
yeah, I agree, and I'm glad Yaddle's getting her moment. Like, she's always been left behind in these,
They definitely gave it to her today, man. Or in this book,
this book was great, and it was good to see it, and I was very happy for that. But to me, this is the best High Republic book when you look back at it.
I think so too. I mean, I guess you could make an argument if you wanted to, but I think I would still go with this book that may be the first one from Phase 2. when we actually got introduced to a lot of the mother and everything and the open hand. But yeah, I think if forced to pick one, yeah, I definitely think this one is better than.
It's better than all the episodes, all the first ones too, all the Phase 1 stuff.
Oh, all the Phase 1 stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's what he's asking.
Oh. I thought you just meant all the Phase 2 novels. You're talking about all the novels?
All of them.
All the High Republic?
All the adult. I put the adult here.
Oh man, that's a different question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when they introduced the blade, like that was a really
That
good
book was. I get that. That was the cool part of that book, but again,
No, it was cool. All when they were doing the things.
That was all the Avar stuff and all that they just completely ruined that storyline. The Blade stuff was like,
but they did that with
50
hold on
pages
now.
of a 400-page book.
Hold on, they did that with the Elrond and Elmore stuff here too, and the Prince and the Princess. Like they did that.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying the Blade was 50 pages of a 400-page book. That was a good.
No, but it also had no. But if you remember, it also had all the Lordstrom stuff. Like
it had Loden. It had the first 100 pages were about Avar, and then a lot of it had to do with what the fallout of Hetzel. That was the big part of the book. And then at the end, we got on the planet of Ephrona or whatever that planet was.
This part, you said Axel was the worst part, and that was the biggest part of this book. So,
I just think this book Light of the Jedi was amazing when it came out. I think Light of the Jedi was not nearly as good.
This is by far the best
how
book.
Things went on throughout phase 1. I love Light of the Jedi.
I will tell you, this is by far the best Phase 2 book, and it is top 5 in all High Republic. I think head to head, we'd have to see, but it's pretty close to the top. You know what I mean? All right. Oh, JJ's back. JJ, do you have anything to add? Good. Okay. All right. Interesting.
But
Dom?
It sounds like a good book. You know, it kind of sucks that I don't get a chance to read these damn books, these novels, man. I mean,
you could have.
I know I could have. You know, like I look at it this way. I got
He's busy crafting great theories.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem.
You know, I'll be honest with you. I've been exhausted in the last couple of weeks.
All right.
You know, from work and
being old.
Working hard again and doing things. I've just been like doing a lot of stuff in the house too. So it's been like I barely read my comics. I read the comics just before we came on tonight. I finally got to read my comics. It's just novel.
When are we doing the next one? Because I'm not here next week.
2 weeks from now.
What's the next one?
That'll be easy.
Put the name of it in the chat so I can read that one too.
Quest for Planet X. It's the little kid.
That's less than 6 hours on the audio, so that ought to be an easy one to get through.
Yeah, and then 2 weeks after that will be the other one that comes out.
Good God! No wonder I'm not finishing up Thrawn. Too many other books out there.
Yeah,
finish Thrawn.
I haven't even finished Aftermath yet. I had to put that one on pause.
No Jedi next week, Darth.
No Jedi
are
next
we?
week.
Are we? Okay, cool. So are we done with book now?
Yeah.
Okay. More likely to show up next week. Boba Fett or Thrawn?
Thrawn.
In the episode or post credits?
I just said general. In general.
Generally.
Oh, Thrawn. I say Thrawn.
I gotta go with Boba Fett.
Thrawn is more
likely to show up.
Who?
I think we'll get a double dose. We'll get Thrawn and Boba Fett.
And by the way, Le Pepe Le Pew, and you French people, change the way that Thrawn looks on the cover to be more Frenchish. Yeah, none of that. America. That's what we need. More America. America Thrawn.
America.
That's it. Did you guys see that? You guys?
I didn't know Thrawn was American, but yeah, I agree with
He
you.
is. The only American version. What was the thing I had? Hashtag America Thrawn.
Hashtag America.
Yeah, America, definitely.
Does anybody have those books? Those special edition Thrawn books that came out?
You could probably buy them online. America Thrawn only fans. Here we go. That's us right there. All right. Yeah, I think. Do you think Thrawn's going to look as shitty as he did in the things, or do you think they're going to fix him up?
No, I actually think you might just get a quick view if they do it. I think they might name drop him again. I don't think
Hologram.
Hologram.
Right.
Yeah.
That does sound right.
probably be
Hologram. If they do, it's going to be hologram.
Yeah.
Prawn will show up. Prawns will show up, so they're going to have shrimp there. So that's going to be part of canon now too. The cat's not. There's no cat. All right, cool. Well, I hear it's going to be another great episode. So, I mean,
let's have a watch party. I'll be up at 3:00.
I won't.
No spoilers, guys. Once again,
I will not be up at even it's 1:00 my time. I still won't stay.
Well,
up
listen,
for it.
you know what? I won't put a spoiler, but if Boba Fett does show up, I'll have a big smiley face.
If
No,
Boba
don't,
Fett,
don't do anything.
I know.
Don't put anything.
I
Put
I
in the
won't.
chat what we say every week. We go, hey, watch it, and then Dom gives a spoil, and everyone's like, don't spoil it. Dom, first thing, spoils it.
I won't do
It's
anything.
like, not everybody's watched it yet.
I'll wait
Hey, Dom, I have to worry about it's freaking.
I'll wait for Wade
Lopez
Secret
that
to
I
send
have
me
to worry
something.
about.
I want Wade Secret.
yeah,
I want him to send me something. I'll wait for him to like send me a message.
Yeah, it's
Lopez-
pretty
Lopez
lame.
does watch it pretty early, and
It's pretty
you know.
lame if you watch it just to get on the internet to spoil it for people. That's kind of
First thing I do, well, I guess I won't do it on Wednesday, but I usually I'll check our chat and I'll check IG. And the first thing I see when I log on to IG is Lopez's big
I don't
Mando spoiler.
really get it. I
That's
don't really
that's
get
the hard part for us
Yeah,
now
I
on the East
purposely
Coast.
don't do any social media. Man.
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
It's muscle
watch
memory
it.
for me. I just like go there.
Jedi, you could stay up though. Like, what time does it
Yeah,
drop?
it comes on at 10:00 Tuesday night here.
10 o'clock.
Well, if
Yeah.
I lived in
That'd be
Hawaii,
awesome.
it's the same thing as
I
10
actually,
in the morning.
I was so busy this week, I almost forgot to watch it. Somebody's like, "Hey, did you see it?" I was like, "Oh shit, no," because I do stay in the bubble that day, anyways. It doesn't for all the comic book stuff. I
I
know.
almost did. I'll be up.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, okay. Could be nice. All right. Well, let's see what's going on. I think there's something fishy with the armor. I think she wants to rule Mandalore.
How
That's
can a
what I
guy
think.
How can a guy painted blue look bad? Well, when he's like really like the actor's 20 years older than he's supposed to be. That's how.
Well, think about it. He older. Think about it. The Return of the Jedi. This is 6 years after Return of the Jedi, and he was last time you seen him in the end of Rebels. It was a few years before New Hope. So you got to understand, he is older.
Oh, JJ, since you're here, since we're going to talk about High Council, well, I got lost with mind wiping and everything else. But so 5, this is what I was going to say. So Mando takes place in 9, right? 5 is when Sloane went with Hux out, right? 5 is when they went out, right?
Somewhere in
Hux,
there, yeah.
the Huxes are back already by 9. If they went and found Thrawn, that means Thrawn has to be back too, correct? Before 9, so that means an
You
8.
think?
Right. So he's not actually gone. So then when Ahsoka sees Sabine and says, "We gotta go find Thrawn," Thrawn's already back.
Yeah.
No, they're definitely they're
Which means
flexing
they went
with things.
for
I
they
think
went
that was-
for someplace for like a year. I mean, that's fucking what
We
they
don't
did.
know that. We will find that out.
Wait, secret. Well,
I don't.
Anyway, I got to hop
I
off,
mean,
guys.
that
It
one.
I'll
fucks with
see.
the timeline big time.
We
but
don't know
I think that's the whole world
exactly
between
how
worlds
long
actually.
before A New
Jedi
Hope.
hates timelines.
We don't know how
I
long
got to hop
before
off
A New
anyway.
Hope
I
that
gotta,
he was gone. So he was
Right, John,
gone
see you
from
later.
at least before A New Hope through Return of the Jedi, which is a substantial amount of time, which is more than a year.
Right, but when Sloane goes out to get him, it's in 5.
Yeah, so then he's been gone for at least 6 years.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like when they see each other
It
afterwards.
was 6 years after Return of the Jedi, but
So he would have been a year between she went out and got him, came back.
6 years after.
Yeah, I'm just saying you made it seem like it was a year, but it's at least 6 years.
Dude, when Sloane leaves, when the
Yeah.
council leaves,
Yes.
it comes back. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying is like a year.
But I'm just saying they've been gone for 5 years before that too, at least,
Yeah.
or 6 years before that.
So you're talking about almost 10 years this guy's been gone.
No, so we're talking about 6 years.
No.
Which is still a long time.
Well,
Yeah,
New
we're talking
Hope,
about 6. If
How
he,
many-
you know,
You know, you really- okay, so he disappears before Return of the Jedi, right?
he
no, he
does.
disappeared before, way before Return of the Jedi.
Before-
New Hope.
Before A New Hope. He disappears before A New Hope.
Yeah. Okay.
Right
So
before New Hope.
how many years is that? We're talking what?
So it's till 5 when Sloane goes out to get him. So it's 5 years. Then Sloane leaves.
But when does Sloane go out? See, the thing is,
It's
we don't
fine.
even know that it happens after.
Sloane leaves in like
we know it's
5 or
after
6.
Return of the Jedi, but Yeah.
5 or 6, somewhere in
like-
there. Because
No,
the
no,
battle,
we know because at the end of Chuck's book, well, unless they change it, but at the end of Chuck's book, it was 5. It was 5 AF. It was 5 after the battle, right?
And Ezra should come back with a
Right.
beard.
but I'm saying
You should
the
find
part
Ezra with a
of
big beard.
I mean, I guess I meant the Sabine Ahsoka thing. Like we don't know when that takes place necessarily, right?
That's what I'm trying to.
Well,
That's what I was
it'll
trying to
be
say.
It
It's
takes
like,
place after the Battle of Jakku. If you watch the prologue of Rebels,
right. We know,
Yeah.
but we know
Yeah,
that.
you don't
but
know
we
how
know-
long after the
We don't
battle.
know how long. That's what I'm
Right.
trying to say.
okay.
I think it's like a year. It has to be over a year because Sloane goes out in 5. So if Sloane goes out in 5, and Hux comes back,
But I think
by 9.
by 9.
But I also think they might have totally just not cared about that part.
No, I agree.
Slow
Yeah, I think they
and
just
all
yeah,
that.
yeah, I think they just said fuck it.
I don't know. I mean, Ahsoka seems to think that Thrawn has come back because obviously he has connections with Elizabeth or whatever. Because she asked, "Where's Grand Admiral Thrawn?"
But that's what I'm saying.
Right,
So,
but at this point,
but that was in
at
that's
that
in
point,
9.
she's been going 15 years.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Roughly,
That's 9. So that she's supposed to. That's supposed to be. She's supposed to go talk. He said
But that takes
when
place
when
before the Ezra thing, before the when she picks up Sabine.
No, that doesn't. No,
It
he
does. The
said
Mandalorian. It takes place before the Mandalorian. Mandalorian took place before that epilogue. Go back.
I'm confused.
Well, then it's even later.
Huh?
Because Mandalorian is 9.
Yeah. So the Mandalorian. So that when she was looking for Thrawn, that's when she goes, and then that's when the epilogue begins in the Rebels. So that part, it could be a year.
No, we don't know that.
No,
We don't know that,
no,
Don.
we
do
know
not
that's not true. We actually know that's not true because we know when Thrawn left.
How many
We
years?
know,
before
Thrawn,
there,
we
actually,
know when Thrawn left. So to
I
come
think this
back
whole
to him,
thing is the reason.
yeah,
I
it's a
think the whole
mess.
thing is the reason why they're putting that epilogue part into the live action is because they've screwed it all up. They don't
They
even
have screwed
care.
it all
and
up.
they're
They
gonna
screwed
reset
it up
to whatever.
bad.
Or it could be Ahsoka's looking for Thrawn, and then Ahsoka finds a lead, and then she goes and finds Sabine. I mean, that's totally possible.
But that
There's
scene
ways
looks
for
like
them
it's the
to
exact
make
same thing.
it make
Yeah,
sense.
but what I'm saying is when you have to find a lead that when he was in charge, find a lead that has to be after he had already gone out
Yes.
and come back.
Yes.
Yes, which is what I'm saying. So that had
Yeah,
to.
no,
also, too,
it had-
you have
but, then,
to.
but since
From a
Sloane is looking
practicality.
for him in the unknown reasons in 5, that means that scene with Ahsoka Tano has to be after 5,
Correct.
which means he has to already be back, which is past a year, which is 6. So it's only up to 3 years before Mando starts,
Somewhere in there. Could be 7.
which would be 2 years. Yeah, 7, 8. It could be any. Yeah.
Donald's right. It could be after, and they've just forgot about everything. Like that's what I'm saying. Like,
But
they
then he
could
leaves
put it
again.
wherever the fuck they feel like.
Yeah, he's right because
And
then he has to
they're
leave again because they
gonna-
say, "Where's your Grand Admiral Thrawn?" So he had to left again.
Mhm.
So he left twice.
I don't know.
Or,
They have
or
to
he
do it.
hasn't left, and she just didn't tell her where he is. Like he just can't find him.
He's already
But he
back
kind of
already.
left twice at this point because you got Huck or not Hux, but Paleon or whatever.
But
everybody,
Paleon
"Oh, he's
was
coming
there.
back, he's coming
Paleon
back."
was there
Yeah.
at the end of Rebels, so Paleon's always been there.
Saying he wasn't back, but Hux is back. And by the way, what's her name? Worked for Thrawn when he came back because that's where Ahsoka was looking for him. Because after
That was the
that
whole
is when
hand
she's
of
supposed to have
Thrawn
gone to
thing.
Sabine. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And her whole
I
like
think that's crazy.
wasn't her whole hand of Thrawn thing and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
she's
think
like-
they're-
The whole fucking
I think they're
timeline's all
basically-
messed up anyway.
I think Filoni wants to rewrite Heir to the Empire the way he wants to do it.
Yeah,
And I think
I
everything
agree.
else is.
I agree.
being shoved out of
The
the
more after this Shadow Council thing, I was like,
Well, the whole fact is now that the book's a legend, so he can redo his story, which kind of sucks because I like the original Hell's
You
Empire.
can't
I
redo
really
it.
can't redo the story.
no, because the other
The
three, the
story's
other
already been
6, there's
redone.
6 books that are canon. There's
Yeah,
6.
but those 6 books are way before, for the most part.
Well, those books that they wrote now, the new books that they wrote,
At
are
the
not
very,
the
they're
Hell's
before Rebels at least, and some of them are way before.
No, they're ending up going into Rebels.
But
Well, Herald of the Empire books are legend.
no, he's talking about the 6
No,
Thrawn
the
books
6
that
Thrawn
The new
books.
ones that
Don
were-
wrote for their
Okay.
canon.
All right.
I mean, but none of this contradicts any of that
No.
because that's we're talking 10 years after that.
Well, look,
Yeah, well,
If
it
you
does
think about
contradict
this-
it in
if you
his
think about this,
motivations and his character. At least.
Correct.
does,
They
100%.
can mess up the character, but they're not messing up the events that happened in the book.
look in the book they have you have the 2 Jedis. You have Balin and this girl. They're going to be Thrawn's.
No, the wrong books.
So they're going to use the story plot line from the original Herald of the Empire in the movie and stuff like that.
Yeah,
They're gonna
That's what I'm
borrow
saying.
some stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what
Well,
JJ's saying.
every-
He's saying that, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they
that's what
just
I'm
did the same thing. Well, they just did the same thing with the council. So, like, yeah, he's going to take shit, steal it, fucking do what he wants with it, and then say, like,
Well,
oh,
I
yeah.
don't think he stole. I think he talks to. I thought he took Timothy Zahn. They sat down and had a good conversation. I think he's going to get a
track
credit.
that.
I think
No,
the conversation was,
no.
"Hey, I'm using."
But I think he's going to get a credit for it. He's going to get a
And
credit. For
Zahn
it.
said, I can't tell him anything. He's going to do what he wants with the character. That's what Zahn said.
So the
Mhm.
Shadow Council, you think one of those characters was
Brad.
Moff Adelhard from Aftermath?
there's two. I think it was Rad was still around.
And Edelhard was the one.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think one unless they redo it because it wasn't. You're talking about Burham, Handar Burnham was the other one that was out there, but he was the one that was old as shit. So I don't think. I mean, unless they
Edelhard was the one that was doing the Purge Trooper stuff.
Right. It could be, yeah. I mean, it
What
could be
happened
that
to the guy. I can't remember if it was in Aftermath at all. What happened to the guy that was like, he kind of like brought Thrawn through the Intelligence Bureau in the books, and I can't think of his name.
No, that was Eli, wasn't it? He's the guy that's in. That's who I said the character was going to be where they showed it because he's a white dude, not a blue dude.
No. I mean the old guy.
Are you talking about the Sloan guy?
Kind of
he's dead.
I can't remember if he's dead or not. Is he
He's
dead?
Yeah, he's dead, and so is the guy that brought Sloan through too. The propagandist guy. He's dead. So it could be either one of those. And that guy was on the council, the Shadow Council first. The propaganda guy was on the Shadow Council, but I think he's dead. He could not be dead. Who knows?
We need to review those books before Ahsoka.
I don't think it matters. I
don't think they're going to tie anything into it.
I want to see if they do.
I
think we should review it.
He already kind of disregarded the character in Rebels that Zahn wrote. So I mean, I don't see it changing at all for what he's putting in live action.
I think there's a way of merging them together. I don't think he's going to do that work, but I think there's a way of merging the Thrawn from Rebels and the Thrawn from the books. I don't think Filoni cares enough to do that.
Marco needs to organize his chaotic background. What are you talking? Oh yeah, it's a mess in here. I haven't had time, bro. Too many shows.
You should see mine. That's my camera's off.
Yeah, too many shows, bro. Got to go back and forth. Anyways, that's why
I agree with you. There's a way to do it. I just don't think he's.
I've really been thinking about what you've been saying the last couple of weeks about how they just don't like it's not even a point of retconning anymore. It's just a point of we're just going to take what we want and we're going to try to get to it fast and first because then we can claim it's ours. And I have a feeling.
No, it's just like it's a larger scale version of what he did with the Tales of the Jedi Ahsoka story, right?
Tired.
We're just like, well, she does run into an Inquisitor, so I'm just going to kind of use that and use this, and then, but it's not really going to be the same story at all.
The same thing with Clone Wars. Yeah. He's done a lot of that type of stuff.
Yes.
Well, the Ahsoka book, the whole Ahsoka book. Yeah, right. You're right.
That's what I'm saying. He wiped out that whole book almost.
Yeah, Cop Vance origin was changed in the aftermath when they brought him.
That one is not on the same level though.
Yeah, that's adjacent. That's not like what they. That's not like what they did with Ahsoka. Like he wiped that book. He used this toilet paper and threw it out.
Cop Vanth was like a cool little thing, but it was not a whole book. And I don't know.
I know, but I'm just saying, it's still changing the fact that you got one way. They can't you're right. Filoni can't stand if a book has.
He said that he doesn't consider books on the same level as everything else for him. Comics and books.
Well, I think it's because he wants. I think the reason why he says that is because he wants to just take whatever he wants.
Well, but I think he does respect the TV much more.
The using of the characters too.
Yeah.
I think he said the same thing. So this is the second time he's used Paleon, right? He used them in Rebels and he used them in this. But if you go back and you find out when he put them in Rebels, Filoni specifically said, "Oh, well, I brought him back because I thought he was an interesting character or something like that." And now that I've used him here, people can use him going forward in other interesting ways. Well, nobody did, but but the fact that he wants credit for now that I've introduced them into canon, therefore you can credit me with doing that now.
And that's the greater problem with it too, right? Just because if he did use some of the resources, he wouldn't have to go speeches like, "Well, I put Thrawn out into the middle of space, and now looking back, and I don't even know why because I had no plan for him." It's like, well, fuck, man. What are you doing, buddy? You can't you should be in charge. I don't know. He should be Grandmaster Yoda and have these big plans and have everybody work underneath him so that he can help them instead of.
Hey, I just want to say, Dub, and go back. I think Yoda's great. Don't get me wrong. He just seems to enjoy
backtracking now.
Yeah, because he brought up some things in chat. He seems to enjoy doing Padawan stuff and following the Force and all that stuff a lot more than he seems to enjoy being in charge of the Jedi. And we see that in the comic book when he just peace out and everybody's like, "Hey, where are you going?" He's like, "I'm following the Force. I'm going to be there. I'm going to go learn how to play my instrument."
Think of the way he trains. Remember the way they described how he trains Dooku in Dooku Lost, where it's just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna basically watch you do this shit and screw up, and then, not really.
What's the
even
next
the way he
character?
trained Luke to a degree. Like the way
What's
he
the next
trains them is just kind of like second hand almost.
Yeah. What's the next character that Dave? We should do this maybe next week. But what's the next character Dave's gonna co-op? Because he co-op. He did it with Boba Fett. You know what? What? Who?
You want to make a ranking?
Yeah. Let's do that ranking. The next characters that he's gonna co-op and steal. No. All right, cool, man. Well, that was longer than
I'll have to think about it.
Oh, wait, Seeker, what were you saying? All right. Well, thank you everybody who stayed on. Thank you for.
Better not be Afra.
Oh yeah, he's gonna 100%. He's gonna co-op Afra. Oh yeah. No,
Better
no
not
doubt.
be.
I mean, who else gets attention? Anybody that'll get attention, he'll co-op. So like, whatever it is.
I think he'll change her sexuality in a way that will ruin her. Like everybody will get mad at him. I think the sexuality will keep him away. Because he doesn't even want to touch that.
He's Dave Mirror.
Probably a High Republic character. He'll be like, oh yeah, I put Elzar Mann in here.
No, I think they're not allowed. I don't think they're allowing that. I think they're staying way away from letting him touch any of the High Republic.
But it's the world between worlds. You can travel now between time and space.
He still says he doesn't understand how it works.
I know.
He could just be saying that.
You made it up. No, I don't.
See, the dangerous thing about that is, I think he's telling the truth. He doesn't understand how it works. But the dangerous thing is because he doesn't understand how it works and didn't think about that. Now he's going to go with a way to try to make it work. It's going to be really weird.
That is one thing he did say. He said it's because I never really thought about it. I was going to have to. Like he doesn't actually think. That's the biggest problem I have with him. He doesn't think down the road of what
he's brought up. So just your list. He's brought up Dash Rendar, who he wants to see bring back into canon. So Dash, he wants. He loves that shadow stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to co-op some of that stuff.
Well, how about Prince Caesar? He's get him.
We'll do a list next week. It's too late to do it now. Okay, let's get a list together. We'll do it next week.
See Force Ghost Kanan in Ahsoka.
Yeah, right. No shit. All right. We'll see y'all later. Thank you very much for everybody that watched. Thanks for everybody that subscribes. Thanks for everybody that loves the channel. Man, a lot of watched hours over the last month. So thank you very much for that too. We'll see y'all later. We'll see you next Sunday. Make sure you watch all of our shows. I don't even know what's on this channel, but we got a bunch of good shows. Make sure you're watching them. They're like on every single day, sometimes 2 times a day. We got shorts going off all the time. We got so much stuff going off. Oh yeah, and don't spoil stuff on the internet.